Hello and welcome to Gen Con TV. I'm excited to be on this side of the table.
Hello and welcome to Gen Con TV. I'm excited to be on this side of the table.
It's also wonderful to see all of you here tonight.
Revel.
We are presenting a one-shot
RPG
It's
of
also wonderful to see all of you
Spectaculars.
here tonight.
We are presenting a one-shot RPG of Spectaculars, a superhero RPG. I'm really excited because the guy who made the game.
Which one of us is it? It's really obvious. It's the one who knows how to play the game.
It's me.
And so tonight we're going to be playing an episode.
So tonight we're going to be playing an episode of Spectaculars. If you are new here, welcome. This is Gen Con TV. We are the Gen Con Twitch streaming channel. So hit that follow button if you have. I'm going to keep hitting my microphone. Yep. Have not yet done that already. I'm not.
Of Spectaculars, and the founder, owner, only person employed by Scratchpad Publishing, which is my vanity imprint. Yes, so Spectaculars is a game that I kickstarted last year and has now shipped to backers, and it is a superhero role-playing game. But the premise of all the games that I design for Scratchpad Publishing is that they are games that are meant to be pulled off the shelf and played easily. So basically, they come in a board game form factor, use a lot of physical components, but they still give you the role-playing game experience just without all the prep time in advance. And so for Spectaculars, what I wanted to do was create a game where not only can you pull it off the shelf and play it easily, but that it gives you the ability to create an ongoing campaign setting without having to do all of the hard work to get that going. So basically, as you play the game, you build the setting out. And so what we're going to do today is not only make characters and play through an adventure, but we're also going to build the skeleton of a new comic book setting. This is a 4-color comic book superhero type RPG, so that's the sort of starting point. And then from there, it's going to be up to the decisions that you guys make, how we actually shape the world.
So when this becomes a Hollywood cinematic universe,
yes,
we are absolutely getting a cut?
Right, when the Gen Con Spectacular cinematic universe becomes a thing, you guys are right on the front end.
But if someone wanted to acquire this game for themselves, could they?
They can. Thank you for asking, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Yes, you can actually get a copy of Spectaculars on my website. It's scratchpadpublishing.com. You can also get it from any of your local game stores that purchase their games through Indie Press Revolution. So if your store carries IPR games, you can get Spectaculars through them as well.
IPR also brings it to conventions, right?
And yes, also they went to conventions, including Gen Con.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right, so...
Well, do we want to introduce ourselves?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Why don't you guys go around the horn?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, no.
Hey, everybody. I'm Derek. You may know me from things on this channel, such as Table Takes and New Release Rundown.
It's fine. Keep going. Is that... No?
That's
You done? Okay.
That's all I've got.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren. You can find me online at Random Tuesday. I'm very excited to be here. I actually got to do a one-shot of Spectaculars.
That's right.
That was an adventure back when it was still on Kickstarter, so I'm really excited to get to play it again. Yeah. I don't know if are we going to be in the same setting or
no.
Ooh, I get to try a different
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exciting.
My name is Emma Larkins. You also know me for many things on this channel. Also a game designer, and I am excited to play Spectaculars. I've been doing a lot of different role-playing games lately, and all of them have been great, so I'm very excited to be a superhero.
Yeah. I'm Peter. I'm on streaming with Fireside with Peter Adkison, along with Emma, and we host an interview show on Gen Con TV. And I also have a film company called Chaldea, which we are enjoying we'll see how many times I can plug Chaldea in this game.
Do we want Emma to hold up their mugs? Really?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, boy.
I don't have one, but
Chaldea.
Or Gen Con. Take your pick.
Ooh.
Yeah, Gen Con. Yeah.
Nice.
Double branding.
Rodney, did anybody give you a souvenir cup?
It's right here.
It's right there, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Excellent. I'm very excited.
As a bribe for getting people to come to our studio, we give them a mug.
We pay
Very
in
nice.
mugs.
Yeah, which
I mean,
of course
honestly,
is branded.
in Seattle, that's valuable, right? We drink enough coffee here. We're hard on a coffee mug here in Seattle. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out the basics of the setting. We're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated version of it because it could take a little bit of time, and I know we're on a limited schedule today, but we're going to build the basics of our setting. And just to give you a little bit of context, Spectaculars comes with 4 different campaigns that are called series, and each one of those series is themed after a different genre of comic books. So, for example, there is Explorers of the Unknown, which is sort of your Fantastic Four, super science, Avengers type heroes, or Clash Among the Stars, which is your cosmic heroes. Or there is Streetlight Knights, which is like your Batman, Daredevil, street level heroes. But the one we're going to play today is we're going to play an issue, is what the adventures are called, from Eldritch Mysteries, which is this sort of magic and occult themed superheroes as well. So, yeah. I honestly picked this one because I know Derek is a fan of the grimdark, so I think this one will suit him well.
Well, usually, like when we're playing on Tuesdays or something like that, the group is like, "Let's play some superheroes," and I'm like, maybe you guys can just play, and I'll go entertain myself. And they're like, "You could play Wolverine," and I'll be like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, fine. I'll play Wolverine.
Wolverine's not. Never mind.
Yeah.
Let's bring on the occult.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's just to let you know, that's what we're going to be playing is a sort of occult magic theme series. And so what we do is the game comes with this setting book. It's a big sort of board game shaped book, and it is full of different elements of the setting, like the government agency, or the evil dictatorship, or the starport, or the media personality. And each one of these is a thing that you define. It's an element of your setting that gets referenced by the different issues. But the very first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to start with the basics, which covers sort of like the ground level information that we need about our setting.
Cool.
And so I'll just go ahead and kick us off. The first question we always start with is, in what decade does the story begin? Basically, you can pick any decade from the 50s to now, and I also include the 2100s as well.
I know what my vote is. The 90s, obviously.
I like 90s.
90s is pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, the 90s were great for me.
All right.
I've heard a thing or two about it.
All right. So we'll pick the 90s.
Don't get me started.
And so the next question is, in what city does this story primarily take place? So we can pick either a real city, and we create our comic book version of that, or like DC Comics with Metropolis and Gotham, we can create a fictional city.
Like fiction.
fictional is good because
Making
then
stuff up.
we can plot city is one of my favorite cities.
There. And then we can make fun of it and not make fun of
Not-
and
not make anybody
offend
mad,
anyone.
yeah.
exactly, exactly.
We don't have to call it plot city to be clear. I'm very bad at naming things, but that's
Plot City is a city where plot happens.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
I'm going to go ahead and mark fictional
where
here.
story events occur.
All right, and so the first big question I have is, what makes this city different from every other city? I'm going to read you off a whole list of options, then you can figure out which one you like the best. So, the first option is advanced technology. This city's infrastructure, economy, and citizenry has flourished under technology beyond contemporary expectations. Second option is dimensional rift. The city is built on a nexus between mystical realms.
That's always a good.
You don't
yeah.
need to read anything.
I like how the options are subway system or hellmouth.
Right, yeah.
It's really sad that a subway system would. Yep. Okay.
Yep. All right. The next one is organized crime, which is the city is home to a vast network of organized crime syndicates who have exceptional influence over the city's citizens, economy, and authorities. The next one is the Pariah District, which is one of the city's districts or boroughs is home to a large population of people who have superpowers and are feared for them, i.e. mutants. But it doesn't have to be mutants. It could also be like aliens or something. Or demons, for example.
Monsters. Yeah,
it's
that
pretty
could be
good.
fun.
And then the last option is scarred by disaster. The city suffered some catastrophe within the last 10 years, and the scars from that event are prominent throughout the city.
That might be a little too close to home.
Yeah, that may not be something I'm
Too soon?
too soon. I feel like Hellmouth, or like supernatural occult thing. It's just not
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I'm on board with
Hellmouth
that.
seems reasonable.
Everyone, chat also seems to be excited about Hellmouth.
They're
Chat's
pro
pro
Dimensional
Yeah,
Hellmouth.
Dimensional
Okay.
Rift.
Are you
yeah.
on your phone again?
So it's chat.
To be
The
clear.
internet is in here.
Wait, so if we go with Dimensional Rift, does that mean that we have finally satisfied Christian's desire to somehow have rifts involved in one of our streams?
Well, we'd
There
have
you
to have
go.
dimensional rifts.
It's just one rift.
Right now we only have
Maybe.
For now.
For now.
The prequel to Rifts.
Wait
Rifts.
until the game is over. There could be
there you go.
3 or 4.
Wait, I thought we were supposed to be the good guys.
We make mistakes,
Rifts
though.
are really good for the economy, okay? 'Cause-
So the last thing we're going to do, and there's actually a bunch more in the basics, but I'm going to go ahead and skip over those in the effort or in the interest of expediency. Is we're going to pick 2 or 3 words that best describe how the city feels, and I have a bunch here for options to choose from. So I'm just going to run through them quickly. Be listening and pick out like your 2 or 3 that you like the most. So the options are anachronistic, bustling, cutting edge, dangerous, diverse, dreary, dystopian, idyllic, oppressive, overcrowded, rundown, sprawling, towering, verdant, and wealthy.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pick like 2 or 3
towering.
of those.
I feel like it's a tall city, but I also like the contrast with verdant.
Oh, so
'Cause
I was
mentioned
gonna do both,
towering
yes.
forests.
I was
Yeah,
going to say,
like,
why don't we do that? Because then we can have like super tall skyscrapers
but-
that have like the terraced, like total greenery kind of on the side and stuff.
Ooh, yeah,
like
all
it.
trees. I also like diverse.
Turns out to be like
Diverse.
hellmouth trees or something.
too.
They're hellmouth trees.
Hell
Hell
trees.
The trees
trees.
are just growing
Well,
between
remember,
the dimensions.
dimensional rift doesn't have to mean hell, and we're gonna get to that in just a second.
It could be a pleasant
I'm just saying.
dimension.
It's
They could
not.
be
Doom is about to come out.
paradise.
Obviously, it's hell.
All right, so I don't hear any strong objections, so I'm going to do towering, verdant, and MSU said diverse,
Yeah,
right?
I like it.
All right, cool, we'll do that. All right, so given that we have a towering, verdant city with a diverse population that is built atop or has within it a dimensional rift, I'm going to have a strong feeling about a name for this city.
I'm not allowed to name things. I'm just gonna step back from that
Very
one.
well, good to know.
Because plot city still works because trees grow on plot.
Woof.
I'm just gonna say the first thing that popped into my mind because that always works out perfect.
Is it Plot City?
Treetopia.
Definitely not
Treetopia.
that.
'Cause
I'll
I know
take Plot
Derek will
City
hate-
over Treetopia.
Liked my name.
I kind of like Treetopia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or Woodenville.
All right, let's go with Woodenville.
Woodenville works.
Okay.
Even though it's an actual place. It's not actual
Woodenville.
Woodenville.
I'll spell it Woodenville.
Ooh. Yeah.
Woodenville.
All right. Sounds good. Okay.
Known locally by its populace as Treetopia.
Well, we do get a city
nickname.
nickname.
City nickname.
So
But it's
Treetopia.
rival
Yeah.
city, like 2 hours
Plot
away,
City.
calls it Plot City.
Yeah. Hey, it's such a plot.
all right. So the last thing we're going to do with the setting basics is because you guys picked Dimensional Rift as like the key thing that makes the city different, we're actually going to go and define another setting element, which is the Nether Realm. And the Nether Realm is basically the other dimension that is on the other side of this dimensional rift.
But it's not necessarily hell.
That is correct.
Although Nether.
Yeah.
Nether,
We could call
Nether
it-
is what you call hell when you don't want to get protested.
Yeah, we could call it Nell, not hell.
Not hell. Yeah, we invent this world. I just
In
wanna throw that out
apostrophe
there.
EL.
Yeah, no L.
I'm just going to go ahead and write that down just in case we decide to keep it in apostrophe EL.
EL.
All right, so
The apostrophes are important. That's how you know it's sci-fi.
right. So we have 4 big things we need to define about the Nether Realm. So the first one is we're going to define its fundamental nature. There's basically 3 columns, and we're going to choose one from each column.
Okay.
So is the Nether Realm, and pick one of the following 6. Is it desolate, fiery, frozen, jagged, apocalyptic, or surreal?
Surreal.
I was gonna say that. I like.
I fully support surreal.
Now, just warning everybody, that does sort of create a lot of pressure for real creativity.
Oh no.
Yeah, surreal.
Okay.
Instant surreal monster or something.
Okay.
All
All right.
But, okay,
I feel
you asked
confident
for
in
it. You
Derek's
asked for it.
ability.
People,
Yeah.
that's where my brain goes. People have pancake faces and
I-
teeth for ears, and I
Sure.
would just.
So we could just have Salvador Dali
Yeah.
be the inspiration for
Everything's
everything that
melting.
we make there. Okay,
So the next
got
choice
it.
is the Nether Realm a hellscape, wasteland, island, mirror world, labyrinth, or jungle?
Labyrinth?
I kind of like labyrinth, but we could go with jungle, and then it's
Jungle.
like the jungle,
Sure.
Kind of makes sense for the
encroaching.
trees.
Well, yeah, because
But I do like labyrinth,
well,
too.
I think jungle would be an interesting, weird, like almost mirror world of the city we just described.
And it plays Guns N' Roses whenever you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only
Every
when
time
you
we
first
come in.
show up. Yeah. We welcome you. Yes. Yeah.
Soundtrack.
All right.
The band literally welcomes you every time.
Yes.
All
I've
right.
been here like 5 times. I don't need to be welcomed again.
Last choice is the Nether Realm filled with ruins of inhuman scale, of torment, far underground, of eternal night, or full of ghosts.
I feel like I want to just like give me all of those.
One of each, please.
But I like ruins and of inhuman scale.
Well, we have a tall city in human scale, kind of
Yeah.
fits.
That works.
I feel like I should be taking notes, but it looks like
Well, that's what
Rodney
this book is for.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
All
You
right,
always
so
refer back to it.
our Nether Realm is a surreal jungle of inhuman scale.
Nice.
So when humans go to this realm, what feels the strangest? Is it the Escher-esque geography? Is it that their willpower bends reality? Is it the surreality of it, which you've already sort of defined? Is it impermanence, that things are constantly changing or shifting their structure and shape? Is it resistant to change, so any change you make rarely lasts long? Or is it a dimensional crossroads where many planes of existence converge?
I think
All those
will
are really good.
affecting, what was that? Will
Yeah.
affects.
The
Willpower
will,
bends
you can
reality.
bend the reality.
I mean,
when you
that
get there.
ties in with magic and occult real
Yep.
nicely.
Yeah,
That's fun. I like it.
cool.
All right. So other than demons, what creatures inhabit this realm?
Other than.
Other than demons.
Wait a minute. Wait, are demons a given then?
That's a given.
Or-
I think. That's the way I interpreted that.
Yeah, but we
kind
spell
of.
it Deemyn,
Right.
just to make sure that there's
Yeah,
nothing
just-
like
yeah, right.
Yeah.
too untoward here.
So the options are near human, so basically there are human-like beings like elves or dwarves, monsters, the restless dead, or dreaming humans. Basically, humans dream themselves into this realm.
Ooh,
I feel like that.
Yeah, that goes with the
that feels
surreal,
good.
And the changing of
Dreamscape.
affecting reality.
Wait, so how long until we just
Yeah.
end up writing the dreaming here? Because it seems like that's where we're going.
Look, enough monkeys, enough typewriters.
That's true.
All right. The last question
We are
is
nothing if not monkeys.
Still no Shakespeare.
not yet. The last question is: what is special about magic in the Nether Realm? Is magic far more powerful there, dangerously unpredictable, corrupting, or it has a steep price?
All of those things, please.
The last two especially.
Yeah, I was
Make
either thinking
choices.
price or unpredictable. Because unpredictable is always fun because it's not predictable.
Price.
Price.
Okay.
Price.
There you go.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. So do
It's
we
a
want,
one shot.
do we
Yeah.
want to keep this? Do we want to keep this name of Nell, or do you want to name it something else?
I like no.
No.
All right.
As long as we can keep the apostrophe.
Oh no, in
That's
Is it
apostrophe.
Nell or Nell?
In
I think
apostrophe.
Nell.
it should be Nell, but
All right.
you know,
Nell.
everyone just calls it Nell, and it, you know.
Well,
I
everyone
mean-
in the city does because they're
Yeah.
used to it, right?
Chat,
Yeah.
chat wants to vote. So how about if we can? Should we choose something other than Nell, and we will kind of continue and come back to this.
Meh.
Okay. All right. So
And how to pronounce it?
that is everything that we're going to do to set things up. So basically, we have our city, Woodenville, aka Treetopia. This is set in the 90s. The city is a towering, verdant city built upon a dimensional rift connecting to the surreal jungle of inhuman scale known as Nell, where humans dream themselves into that alternate dimension. Their willpower bends reality, and any magic drawn from or used in that realm comes with a steep price. So that's our basic setting.
Yeah.
And so now it's time to make characters. So the way it's going to
Oh,
work
there's more.
is, though there's more. You guys need characters.
Yes.
And that's the
Oh,
game.
good.
Good night, everybody.
Oh, good.
No, so you need characters. So basically the way it's going to work is you are going to pick one of the 6 archetypes that has been set out at the start of the series. Those archetypes are Legendary Warrior, which is, you could describe anything from like Black Knight in Marvel, or Hawkman, things like that. Occultists, which are your sort of occult investigators. Sorcerers, which is like your Doctor Strange types. Supernatural entity, which means that you are a ghost or a demon or ghost rider or that kind of thing, right? Avatar, which is that you're like the superhero embodiment of a deity. Or familiar, which means that you are actually like a little creature or an imp or
like a-
something like that.
Like a cat.
No, I already said I
or-
want to play Jubilee. What is Jubilee? But the familiar of the
Wait,
action.
but there's also familiar.
That is
Is another one.
Yeah.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Familiar.
Okay.
And so you're each going to pick one of those. You're also, as a group, going to pick what your team is like. Are you the Monster Squad, which is sort of like the freak show that comes together to become heroes, or are you pact-bound heroes, basically heroes that have sworn an oath to defend your city from an L and its creatures?
I feel like some people had very strong feelings about what they wanted to play, so I'm going to let everyone else go for it, and then I'll party balance. So I'll fill.
I feel that will help determine our theme, depending
Yeah,
on
yeah.
how
That's also true.
I would love to play either the cultist or the sorcerer.
Do you want to take a look at them?
No.
You just want to pick one?
Throw one over.
Very
Throw
well.
one over.
I will.
Here. All right. All right.
No, I don't want it to take too long. Just one of them. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
There you go.
Occultist.
Occultist.
All right, so on the front side of the sheet, you're going to see that there are some multiple choice questions that you're going to answer. You're going to answer those. You don't have to answer them right away because I'm also going to give you your powers and identities that you're going to choose, so you can kind of do it all at once.
Cool.
And the way it works is I'm going to deal you out 3 identities, so please pass those down, Peter. And these will be yours. And you're going to pick one of those 3 to be your character's identity. And then I'm going to give you 5 power cards. And you're going to pick at least 1, but up to 3 of these cards.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you.
So those are a
How
random.
many identities do we have?
It should be 3. Maybe I give you one too many
Alright.
because I don't know how math works.
And then I pick one of these?
Yeah, you're going to pick one of those, and you're going to pick 1 to 3 powers.
Okay.
And in addition to those powers that I dealt you, there are also some generic powers out here that you could choose from. There's Energy Blast, Flight, Super Strength, Signature Weapon, and Super Toughness. So basically, one of these 5 can be of the 3 that you end up with, right? So you could be like,
I'm sorry, what were they again?
sorry, Energy Blast, Flight, Super Strength, Super Toughness, and Signature Weapon.
Oh, flight.
One of those?
Yeah, I want
Okay.
to fly. I want to flight.
Emma, did you know which one you wanted to be? It sounds like familiar if you wanted to be an animal.
I just like to make fun of having a little kitten following you around.
You can
But
still have a little kitten following you around.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair.
Yeah. Or being the little kitten that
Absolutely.
follows
Yeah.
everyone around. There. I think you should go first. I'm still thinking. These are my stuff.
Would flight and air manipulation go well together, complement each
totally,
other?
yeah.
and as
You-
opposed to over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean,
I'm
it's
thinking
largely
trying
up
to
to
stick
you.
with this Jubilee
I will
plan.
say you do not have
And
to pick
I
all
feel
3.
like
If you
Jubilee
don't pick
is
3,
the
if you're like, oh, that's
familiar makes
enough.
the most sense.
If you think that like 1 or 2 is enough, then basically you get more hero points, which are like the resource that you spend to do like
Oh,
exceptional
okay.
things.
So
right?
there's a reward for not diversifying.
Exactly.
here.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, Rodney,
Yes.
do you accept my contention that Jubilee is Wolverine's familiar?
If you want it to be that way,
Great.
sure.
Then that's what I'm doing.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I'm going to allow it.
So then for my physical form, I'm going to choose other, a teenager.
I'm thinking either sorcerer or legendary warrior, but I don't know. Do I want to be magic or fighty?
Well,
We
we've
have
already,
an
we've already
occultist,
defined
kinda
that magic has a
familiar.
huge cost. So go with magic.
All right.
All right, so sorcerer.
I am the sorcerer.
All right, Emma, what are you thinking?
Okay.
Your choices are legendary warrior, supernatural entity, or avatar.
Avatar was the embodiment.
Yeah, it's sort of like Thor.
I'm giving you flight back because I'm going to take astral projection.
Okay,
So
sounds
lets me fly.
I think supernatural entity.
Okay. Thank you. There you go. So on the other side of the multiple choice questions, you'll pick 1 to 3 powers. I don't know if you all heard, but basically, if you choose fewer than 3 powers, you'll end up with more hero points, which are a resource you spend during play.
All these powers are so good.
Do I want to
though.
be a doctor, a historian, or a lawyer? This feels like my parents are asking me what I want to be when I grow up.
Do we give these back to you then?
Yes, if you're done choosing.
Oh, I'm
I'm
done.
picking
it
all the
was,
powers
It was
because-
obvious.
Okay, very well.
Yeah, mine was easy.
Okay. So now all you're going to do is answer the multiple choice questions on that side, and then when you're done,
Okay.
let me know.
I'm gonna go with the doctor. I'm Dr. Sorcerer. I feel like that's already been done, but
Dr.
okay.
Mister.
I'm Dr. Mister.
Dr. Mister.
Dr. Mystery. Dr. Miss Tree. I'm Dr. Tree,
Yep.
but I used to be Miss Tree.
Miss Tree.
Yeah, there we go. I got a name.
That's
Thanks.
really good, actually.
We're happy to help you out.
Yeah. All right, so here's my Dr. Nerd. All right.
Ooh, I can be the spiritual embodiment of a philosophical concept.
I have so many options.
It's sort of like Ghost Rider is the spirit of vengeance, that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Do we want an animal? Because I can summon animals.
Yeah. You just have a little pet following around. Ooh.
Yeah,
And so
I mean, that's
while
pretty
you guys
great.
are making your characters, what I have actually done is I have a sheet for the issue's villain here, and I am sort of doing the same thing, where I drew some random powers. Now I'm going to answer some multiple choice questions
Very nice.
on the front side, so that as the person running the game, I'm also sort of playing along, but I didn't have to do any prep work, and in fact I haven't. In fact, I haven't even looked at this game in several weeks. So. Great.
What?
Yes.
Okay, I'm torn between 3 abilities.
You can have 3.
I could, but also resource. Wait, do I want resource points or do I want to just lean into bad things happening to me?
Yes.
That was not a yes or no question.
Bad things are interesting.
I'm gonna give you some powers and
Okay.
identities
Thank you very much.
for the stack, and then I'm gonna figure out. I mean, all right.
Incorporeal. I might be going a little ham here. We'll find out.
Oh no, that's not what I.
It's,
Okay.
it's a one-shot. We want
All
to
right,
go
I got
most
this.
ham.
I got this. I'm gonna go
Maximum ham.
animals and illusions.
Don't forget there are also the general ones out here if you want to choose one of those.
Ooh.
You do not have to, I'm just saying.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
I'm going to skip vulgar and addiction because, well, that's just.
All right.
I try to be nice.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna try.
Try not to.
Oh, wow. So chat has...
I don't need any encouragement.
Yeah.
Juniper Tree is your full name.
Oh, I like it. I'm on board. Yeah.
Doctor of Bony. Doctor of Botany.
Bony. Bony or
Botany.
botany.
I'm a botanist. Okay, so I'm not. Well,
Up to you. This is chat. I'm just sharing that with you.
I want to be clear. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a tree doctor.
Yeah.
You didn't go to tree college for nothing.
I go to tree college for nothing. Or am I just super into
I'm trying to decide,
homeopathy?
should I be a monk or should I be a warden?
Ooh.
I like the idea of being a warden, and I'm pledged to protect someone's heart.
Ooh. The heart of a tree.
Oh, I was going to say one
Heart-
of your
some
hearts.
heartwood.
I'm Jubilee. I'm here to help one of you stay
Aw.
connected with your humanity.
Ooh.
Well, I'm totally.
I don't
human.
know if I'm connected to humans at all. 'Cause I
Okay.
might be the
Sorceress
philosophical
tradition.
embodiment of something.
Rodney,
Yes.
I think you may be proud of me because I think I made a bonkers dumb character.
Sounds good.
Good. Good.
So far I have no name. My physical form as a familiar is
name.
teenager.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. My vulnerability, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Is I'm an outsider because I'm a perfectly normal human from normal Earth, which is an alternate Earth.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So
You're
I'm
literally from Earth.
You're
Yes.
literally from
straight up
Earth.
from Earth.
Wait. So
Alright.
so Earth 6 whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah,
What are the
it's
numbers?
616
yeah.
or something like that. So I'm from normal Earth and somehow got sucked into this weird tree hellhole mouth Earth.
Nell.
Yep, Nell.
Nell hole.
Yeah.
And my resistance is I just happen to know when there's a problem, like a danger sense. So I just, like a fool, I get out of the way at the right time.
Oh
Okay.
gosh.
I think I've just made poison ivy, but that's okay.
But the hero version of Poison Ivy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
like Poison Ivy met Doctor Strange and they had a child.
Okay.
That sounds fabulous.
So wait, Poison Ivy meeting Doctor Strange would result in a rash, not a child.
Well, in this instance,
So, but Rodney, the final thing,
Yes.
my power, summoning. So how do I get around? I resummon myself.
Okay. Just in like the new location.
Yep.
you dork.
Yep.
My
Like,
rip.
sounds like you're gonna get stuck in a recursive loop there.
Yeah, probably. Still, if chat has an idea for a name for that, let me know, because I have no idea.
I also need help.
Oh, I'm also
Haunted.
affectionate and mischievous.
I could be a haunted ghost. That would be funny.
That's pretty great.
I'm an actor who seeks fame.
Yes.
I want to seek knowledge to manipulate the public to love me. My hero name is Fabio. My real name is Fabio, and I'm suggesting a team name of Fabio and Friends.
I hear your suggestion, and we'll table it.
Yes.
Fabio and his amazing friends.
We could be the Fabulous Four.
Fabulous Four, yes. Fabulous Four.
IOULOUS. Yes, there you go.
So you think I should be a haunted spirit? That's not.
I could
Yeah,
work
why
with
not?
that. I could work with that.
When you say a haunted spirit, do you mean a spirit who is itself haunted?
Yes.
Like a chain of ghosts that is bewildering?
I guess so, yeah. Or it could be
ghosts all the way down.
eccentric.
So I'm
eccentric,
thinking-
haunted, eccentric.
Oh, I like eccentric. Eccentric's always great.
Okay, cool.
Morbid is on there, and I really kind of want to tick morbid as a personality trait because I'm a doctor. It's all about the circle of life.
Yeah,
We
just
all-
dead trees.
we all die.
Your apartment's full of dead trees.
We
Driftwood.
become part of the ground once again.
So we have Fabio
Yes.
and Dr. Miss Tree.
Tree.
Well, I used to be Miss Tree. I'm now a doctor. I'm Dr. Tree.
She didn't go to
Dr.
7
Tree.
years of tree medical school to be called
Miss
Miss Tree.
Tree. No, I'm Dr. Juniper Tree. And that is also my hero name, Dr. Tree.
Yep. So we have Fabio and Dr. Tree, and I don't think we have names for you or I yet.
Yeah, I don't have a name yet. I'm
Do you have any ideas?
Do you have leftover cards there? that you
Yeah.
wanted to- Okay, cool.
I'm a
Just gonna clear some
spirit.
The only power I took was summoning.
space. Okay, you don't want any of the general ones?
I figured that as the familiar, I should just stock up on like hero points.
Yeah, totally fine.
So, I am Dr. Juniper Tree. And, I used to be Miss Tree. And I am a sorcerer. I was bestowed my gift from the great tree, Yggdrasil.
Oh.
And I, of course, picked my vulnerability as dangerous sorcery. Why would you pick anything else? Your control is
fire?
tenuous, and your magic can be disrupted or go wild.
fire.
Could be fire. I deflect things, and then I travel by the trees. Trees get me from places to places. I basically summon Ents.
Are you like a dryad or?
Oh wait, do
carry
the
you?
trees
know.
carry you around?
Yeah, this,
Yeah, I
do
think
you-
so.
Okay.
Okay.
Or
cool.
I can
Or do you, like,
become
touch
part of
one
the
tree?
root structure. I think I can touch a tree and then I emerge at
Ooh.
another tree, and I'm actually probably traveling through Noel because it's a weird jungle.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
probably
that's
like
cool.
half dryad or
Oh,
something.
Yeah.
my
But I
getting
love that.
my getting around, by the way, is a vehicle. It's a float
I
that
love
is pulled by unicorns.
Like parade
float, like a
float.
Wow.
Yeah, parade
So
float.
good.
I'm
parade
also
float.
Slow.
morbid and intellectual.
It is a bit slow. But
So
it's a
Chad
bit slow, but
Really
it's beautiful.
uplifting.
It's
Chad
glorious.
has recommended Luna for a name for me, which I think is entirely appropriate.
Yeah,
That's
perfect.
great.
Yeah.
But what about a hero name? Anybody have a good idea for a hero name?
Oh, Luna's your actual
I
name.
presume, yeah.
Moon.
Moon? Got it. Did I ever tell you that for the longest time I didn't really watch Sailor Moon, but I knew that there was a Chibi Usa.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like Sailor Moon.
Mini Moon?
No, it was like Sailor Moon and like in Jupiter and all that. And I'm like, why is there Chibi USA in here? Like, how is
USA.
I don't
USA.
get that.
Thanks, Moon Moon.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm a spiritual embodiment of a philosophical concept. I have a lot of stuff going on here. I'm an artist. I have invisibility, transformation, and kinetic energy manipulation. I'm basically like a spiritual ball of energy that smacks things and bounces around like a bouncy ball.
Well,
I
if you
like
have energy transformation stuff, what about like
Yeah.
the
Wait, what are your
embodiment of
abilities?
change or the embodiment of like
Ooh.
cost or something like? Because like if you do cost, that ties in with our thingy, but our L. But the embodiment of change gives you a lot of stuff to play with.
Yeah.
I have illusions and telepathy. So,
Nice.
but I might just decide that telepathy is I can speak with plants.
That's fine. Yeah.
All right. So, real name. As a spirit of the embodiment of change.
I think they could be the same.
Yeah, probably.
And so once you're done answering the questions on the front side, you flip it over, and like Lauren has done, you put your archetype sheet into the tray.
The game trays.
Into the game trays, branded tray.
Oh my gosh,
These are
that's
actually my
awesome.
prototype trays,
That's so
but
cool.
they're the same as what you get basically. So it fits in there, and then you slot your powers and your identity into the relevant slots. You have to have a superpower, and then you put the next
Because
one
you're
down.
just a
in
person, and why are we here?
Right, and then you put one of your minor power, or your lesser power, and then your identity goes on the left-hand side. And so you'll notice that where it says superpower and lesser power, there is a percentage. So your superpower is 80%, your lesser power is 70%. When you make a check with that power, that's your chance of success.
Nice.
And then your skills that are provided by your identity have their own chance of success on them.
Yep.
All right, so it looks like we got people getting close to the end. So the last thing you're going to pick, in addition to deciding what kind of team you are, is your team role. Your team role will give you a special way to spend hero points. And the team roles are artillery, booster, which is like you bring out the best in your fellow heroes, controller, which is like battlefield manipulation, leader, striker,
Seems like Fabio.
support, tactician, and tank.
Or booster.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like booster or leader would be best for me. So why don't you take leader and I'll take booster.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I was
Fearless
thinking
leader.
Either
Booster gold.
It's not because he's good at leading. He just demands
Tactician?
being in
Yeah,
charge.
Yeah,
He
but
just,
that's what real leadership is. Right? No? Oh. Oops. I was thinking tactician or controller.
Which one do you
I
want?
don't know what the main.
So tactician is you
like
coordinate
controller.
your allies and look for openings in your enemy's defenses, giving your team a tactical edge. Controller is you manage the battlefield using your powers to slow install your enemies to lessen the pressure on your
Go
allies.
with controller.
Okay.
Let's lean into being a druid.
There you go.
You're just going to summon lots of roots all the time, aren't you?
I summon plants! More
All
plants!
right, so we've got a controller, a leader,
A booster gold.
I'm thinking either striker or tank. Probably striker.
Striker
I
sounds
just
good.
become kinetic energy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of punching in my future.
All right, perfect.
A lot of punching or a lot of getting punched?
Yes.
Well, hopefully more of the first one.
Well, no,
because
I have
she's not a tank.
invisibility, and I'm very scary when I transform.
Oh, yeah, so you do sneak attack. You,
Yes.
Turn invisible and then punch him.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'm not going to be very good at invisibility, though, so.
Well, sometimes sneak attacks aren't sneaky.
Sneak attack.
The plus side is that if they fail, then they're just attacks.
Yeah.
It's the kind of attack that would never expect.
Yeah.
The unsneaky sneak attack.
I love it.
Completely unpredictable. So now we should decide what
Punchy.
group we are, right?
Yeah.
Are we the Monster Squad or the Pact-bound heroes dedicated to something?
Feel like which one would not have chosen to come together, but have sort of had to for whatever. I feel like we've got
We're pretty weird.
we're pretty weird.
Yeah.
That sounds like Monster
Squad. Let's go Monster
Yeah.
Squad.
All right.
All right. So
Do it.
Are we, is our comic actually called Monster Squad?
it could be.
Yeah, probably.
So-
and we have our own TV show, right?
Sure.
Oh, heck yeah.
I think we're hoping for one at least.
Yeah.
You're angling for one. All right, who would like to wrangle the team as they prep this?
We have a leader for a reason.
Okay.
And the rest of us don't have to do
What'd you
paperwork.
get?
I knew that was.
There's a few questions there that you.
Fabio's like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
I get to make
This is-
decisions about the team. Okay. this
Yeah, we
isn't
know.
so bad.
We know why.
Okay, so we're supposed to make up.
Yeah, just answer those
Fill in
questions,
the blank.
and you can,
Okay,
whatever
what brought the team together originally? Shelter, like you were granted protection by some person or organization who brought people like you together while shooting from the outside world. Or shared origin, each of you shares the same original source of your exceptional powers. Or exile, the members of your team met after fleeing underground or into the wilderness.
What was the first one again?
I don't like.
Shelter.
I don't like exile.
I
Shelter.
don't think it's
Yeah, shared origin doesn't really make sense.
No.
Yeah.
We're a little
Oh,
too
granted
place.
protection.
It could be Fabio that is the one that granted the protection. for these other three weirdos.
That's true. You are the least weird of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
The float pulled by unicorns is the least weird?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a teenager who just constantly summons duplicates of yourself
Oh yeah.
to travel.
Yeah.
Oh my,
On
do
the
you,
surface, we're pretty normal, but
do you destroy your other copies, or there just lots of
No,
copies of
okay,
you
so
running
this
around?
is not the prestige. This is me resummoning myself
Spoilers.
there.
No kidding.
Yeah,
So
but
I
what
leave where I
happens?
am and I get there.
What happens to the old version of you?
Okay. We have more work to do here. All right, team.
Good team. We're doing great.
All right, team. Sanctuary. Where does your team hide out when not fighting the forces of evil? 1, an abandoned cathedral. The team has taken over a once beautiful, now decrepit church. Underground. The team has a hideout in the sewers. No, not in the sewers. Or subway tunnels.
can
Bunker. The team has a wealthy or powerful sponsor who built a specialized facility from which the team operates.
Dude,
I was
treehouse.
going to suggest that we could go with the cathedral, but instead of a cathedral, it's an abandoned theater.
Oh, yeah.
In a tree.
Yeah.
Well, trees have
Or-
grown all around.
Yeah, trees
Yeah.
are everywhere.
It is
All
sculpted
houses are
trees.
tree
Yeah.
houses.
Or it's an
Soaked
abandoned
in
cathedral
trees.
that's now a
No,
theater.
theater.
Ooh.
Converting it into a theater. How's
pretty
that?
cool.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, converting to a theater.
That's just a story of the arts. Abandoned theater.
Okay, torches and pitchforks. Who does the team fear will come for them if they reveal their existence? The government. The government seeks to imprison or kill the members of the team. Adjust the team's government reputation track by -1. Or zealots, or as I call them, fans. A mob of citizens whipped into a fervor, either by religious zeal or simple fear. Yeah?
Fear of the show being canceled.
Yeah. Or other monsters, evil creatures from the Nether Realm now, who will hunt down and destroy the team for interfering in the affairs of dark forces. Yeah, that could happen.
I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could happen.
Yeah. Let's go
Okay.
with no.
I'm more afraid of the fans, but that's okay. There was also an other option for all those, but I think we found good answers.
Emma, what was your character's actual name again?
I haven't come up with it yet.
Okay, that's why I couldn't recall it.
Yeah.
Question mark, question mark, question
Question
mark.
mark. I was thinking Punchella, but
I love it. Do it.
Punchella.
Punchella.
I like it.
All right.
Okay. Do you want us to do the
best at this.
truths or
No,
back
nothing
part?
goes in the truths, and then just on the back you can write the characters' names on the roster.
Oh, good idea. Okay, so team, Fabiolas. Is that yeah?
Yes,
is that,
I'm on board.
all
I
right.
support this
I wrote
decision.
Monster Squad down.
wait,
That's the way they have
Fabulous?
fabulous.
Fabulous.
Fabiolas 4.
I like it.
Okay.
You have all let me name
Okay.
far too many things here.
Let's see.
Fabulous.
Okay, I
You know how
am.
every comic has that period of time where they let some weirdo person be the
you're
writer,
talking
and a
about-
lot of just odd stuff falls out that then generations of writers later have to figure out some sort of acrobatics to work back into the storyline.
It's really a good thing
We're
not
in that
dealing
phase.
with that.
We're definitely in that phase.
I'm gonna write that down for the team.
Okay, so Fabio, Derek, hero name is Luna.
Moon.
Moon. Okay. And
Is Moon deceased?
are you a
Moon is not deceased.
are you active, inactive, or deceased? I'm not giving.
Active.
I'm going to claim founding member because you know.
Yeah, no, that's
active. Yeah. Okay.
You're technically all founding members.
yeah, but Fabio was the most.
Most founding member. Very
What
well.
happens to your original teammates?
That's
Where do you think the unicorns came from?
it's founded by Fabio with right. Lauren, you're
Dr. Tree.
Dr. Tree.
Dr.
A bit over
Tree.
this. Dr. Tree.
Dr. Mrs.
Rodney, did you say you're
the
playing an
tree.
NPC that's with us?
Not this with you now. I was making the villain.
Oh, okay. So deceased.
Wow.
Emma,
So sorry.
Punchella.
Punchella. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. All right, great.
Well, it's been really nice.
It's been great.
yeah, it's been great.
1 L or 2?
2 L's.
2 L's. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
That would be Punchila.
Punchia. Okay. And active.
All right.
Active. Okay.
All right. Looks like
have a
everybody's
squad.
pretty close.
Cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and put your cards in the order that you would like them. Remember that your superpower, lesser power, minor power have descending chances of success.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
Punching
explain
most important.
a little bit about how the game works. So whenever you want to do something, you're going to describe what you want to do, and you're going to tell me what you want to roll for it. All of your superpowers are essentially like skills in that you can basically do a thing and say, and I want to roll kinetic energy manipulation, or what have you got? Illusions for it. The way the dice work in this game is that you will then roll the percentile dice, and you are trying to roll equal to or under your chance of success. Okay, so the higher your chance of success, the easier it is going to be for you to succeed, just like it sounds. Additionally, if there are circumstances that are either beneficial or detrimental to you, you will probably be asked to add in advantage and challenge dice. So these white dice are the advantage dice. They are a D8 with a boon symbol on 4 sides. The challenge dice are the black dice. They are D10s with the drawback symbol on 6 of the different
It's a
sides.
skull, which is great.
It's a skull. It's
So
very
you
fun.
say a 50% chance of a boon, but whenever I've rolled these playing with you, the white dice seem to have a conspicuously weighted to nothing side.
I believe that to be a user error, Derek.
I'll see if there's an error between
Okay,
user and
good.
dice.
Yes, exactly. And so basically what these dice represent is they represent positive and negative circumstances surrounding your roll. So basically, like you might be saying, oh, I'm going to make an attack, and I'll say like, well, it's nighttime and the person's really far away, so add 2 challenge dice, but they don't know that you're there, so add an advantage die. And so what you do is you sort of build your pool of dice, and you'll roll all of them at once, including your percentile dice. When you roll them, if you roll any boons and drawbacks, they cancel each other out on a 1-to-1 basis. So let's say I had rolled a symbol on each die. They would cancel each other out, and then you're left with your chance of success, or your percentile dice, which compared to your chance of success, and that determines success and failure. And then boons on advantage dice represent additional positive circumstances surrounding the outcome, and drawbacks represent additional negative outcomes surrounding your attempt. So basically what it means is that you can succeed on something and roll a boon and get an extra, like it's a really great success. Or you might succeed, but you roll a drawback and like, okay, well you did what you wanted to do, but now this complication arises as a result. And so you get a whole spectrum of results based on that. Each of you will also have hero points. So you'll notice in the middle of your character sheet, there's a section that says hero points per conflict. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to look down the right-hand side of your character and count up the number of hero point symbols that you see. So for Derek, it's 5. And it's the ones that are visible to you right now.
I just see how many I could have had.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
So Derek's
I
got
see.
5, Laura and Peter have
3.
3 each, and Emma has 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hero points are the gold and blue tokens. So go ahead and take a number of hero points equal to whatever that number is. You'll notice that your team roll gives you a way to spend hero points, which is unique to you. There are also some general ways that you can spend them that are listed towards the bottom of your character sheet under spending hero points. The 2 most important ways that you need to know how to use them are you can either use them for a heroic effort, which basically if you roll and you would fail, you can spend hero points to help you succeed. And the other way to do it is a teamwork maneuver. Basically, anytime any of your allies is doing something in the scene, you can say, hey, I want to spend a hero point token to perform a teamwork maneuver, and you just give them 2 advantage dice. And you sort of explain what your character is doing to help them. Now, this doesn't take an action. You just spend the hero point and you describe it, and it just has to be like a reasonable explanation of like how you team up with them. So this is how you do like the classic Wolverine Colossus fastball special, that kind of thing. So at the end of each conflict scene, you're going to get all your hero points back. So after a fight or during a fight, don't hoard hero points necessarily because you'll get them all back. If you do have any left over, then at the start of the next conflict scene, you'll go back up to your hero point amount, like your hero point minimum amount. Now, during a conflict scene, you can also earn more hero points. So periodically, I'm going to describe things called complications and objectives. And basically, these are things other than punching the villain in the face, for example, you can do in a scene, and basically they represent like other things that are happening throughout the comic book scene that you might want to pay attention to. So for example, rescuing bystanders or putting out fires or things like that. Every time you take an action and succeed and progress either complication or objective, you're going to get a hero point. So basically, if you do things other than like attacking the hero and it's progressing one of these complications or objectives, you can earn some more hero points. So if you've spent all yours, that's the way you get some back. If for some reason you finish a conflict scene and you've got more hero points than your points for conflict, you keep the extras.
Yes.
Okay, the last thing I need to tell you about is time tokens. So on your powers, you will see power stunts or special abilities that have a small symbol with a little hourglass on them. Those are time tokens. Basically, when you use your power normally and make a skill roll, you don't have to use the special abilities that require you to use time tokens. But if you do, you're going to take that many time tokens and put them on your character. And then at the start of each of your turns, you're going to pull one time token off of each of your powers. So basically, they represent a cooldown on the special parts of your powers. When a power has any time tokens on it, you can't use that power for checks, attacks, anything like that. So,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
This is the equivalent of weapon speed in AD&D.
Sure, yeah. Like more powerful things, more powerful special abilities will ask you to put more time tokens on them, right?
Yeah. Like my illusion one, I can put 4 on it,
Yeah, exactly.
but then I take no damage from the attack. So
Exactly, yes. Pretty powerful, but has a pretty long cooldown. And so that's the basics of the mechanics. You'll also, in the top middle of your character, see that you have a special ability that's unique to each of your characters. It does what it says it does. I don't remember what every single one does, so you'll just have to read it.
Mine says I have a non-human form, but since I am a perfectly normal teenager, can this just be my bright yellow trench coat instead?
Totally.
Great.
Yes. Why not, Derek? Why not? I've learned to just smile and nod.
Am I doing it right?
You're doing it. You're doing a great job, Derek. You're doing a great job.
so good.
Okay.
So good.
So we've created the basics of our setting, Woodenville, and now we've got our team of heroes, the Fabulous Four, and now it's time to get into. We're actually
ready.
playing Eldritch Mysteries number 2, which is titled "A Bridge Too Far."
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we dive into that,
Okay,
do you
yes.
want to get into just like a little bit of the kind of structure of the game with the
Yeah,
issues
sure.
and stuff like that? Because
Sure.
like our character sheet has first appearance, where we get to kind of write. So we would
Yeah.
write Eldritch Tales.
Eldritch
number
Mysteries
2, right?
number 2, yes. Yeah, so basically, the 4 series that I described earlier, they actually come.
Oh,
not-
I put down that I was fabulous in my first appearance.
Totally fine, yeah.
Okay, no, it was what? Eldritch
Eldritch
something?
Mysteries number 2.
Okay.
So the 4 campaigns that I described earlier, the 4 series, they don't come as books. They actually come as these tear-off pads. So they're basically like your standard tear-off pad. And included in each pad are the hero archetypes, the villain archetypes, the issues themselves, the team rosters. And basically you can kind of think of it like as you're playing down through the story, you're just tearing off more pages as you go along. So that it preserves a little bit of the sort of mystery and surprise for the person who's running the game, or you can actually play it sort of troop style, where you're trading out who's the narrator each time and not have to worry like, oh, did someone see something they weren't supposed to? The other thing that it lets me do is like, as you go through and make certain decisions or play in certain issues, you actually can unlock additional hero archetypes, so that if someone else wants to join and play a new character, it basically is like, hey, here's the paranormal investigator, and here is like who they are in your setting, and sort of gives you a way to ease those in. And then each series has either 11 or 12, depending on the series. Or no, sorry, it's either 12 or 13, depending on the series. Issues in it, and so I think Eldritch Mysteries is one that has 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Seems to make sense. Seeing as how it's
Actually, it only has 13. Yes,
Rodney.
I am correct. No, yeah, it's Eldritch Mysteries Annual #1 is the 13th issue, of course.
Nice.
Yeah, and so what we're playing is we're basically fast forwarding a little bit, skipping the first issue because I've run that one on a stream before.
Is that the one that I did?
No, you played Streetlight Nights #2.
You remember?
I do. I do.
Impressive.
Well, you know.
I don't know what
I did write
remember what I
these,
played last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember what I played this morning.
I remember being in a locker. That was it.
Yeah. No, when you played Amy on Adam's stream, we played Streetlight Nights #2. We actually skipped the first issue of that one as well. Okay, so yeah. So our issue opens on a dreary weekday afternoon over Woodinville. The towering skyscrapers that are sort of wrapped in, like I imagine there are like tree branches and trunks that kind of grow up the sides of the building. Everything's sort of sagging under the weight of the rain and dreariness. And it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's rush hour. The whole, like the streets are just packed with people trying to get home from their urban jobs to their suburban homes and vice versa.
This is where we wish that we had picked the public transportation
Special feature. Oh, I wish we'd picked the subway.
There's like an intersection that's closed off because like a tree just like suddenly appeared in the middle of it and there's a giant pothole.
Yeah, and so like the first few sort of panels of the comic are showing us this sort of bumper-to-bumper rush hour traffic in rainy Woodinville, giving us a view of the verdant city from it sort of towering overhead and then drilling down into the street levels.
And I'm in a float, so this is very...
Right, yeah.
This
This
is
is
rush,
for getting around.
We're like waving in bumper-to-bumper traffic.
rush hour traffic
Yeah.
in a
Do the
float.
cars part for you or not?
Yeah, does the city hire you specifically to entertain people during rush hour?
Oh, yes, darling, they do. Yes, yes. Wait, is everybody playing their same gender?
I am she, her.
I was going to go with unclear.
Okay.
I'm a teenager.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So,
She,
female.
her.
Cheater.
She, her.
She, her. Oh,
Cheater,
oh,
cheater.
cheater. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
my pronouns are cheater.
Okay. Okay.
Cheater / traitor.
Okay. Oh yes, darling. I get hired for that frequently. Yes, yes, and to lead the parades and.
Doesn't this also slow down the traffic?
Yes.
Does it also
Oh,
make
don't
it
worry about that,
difficult
dear.
for
Don't
you to get
worry.
around?
Don't worry. Just wave to the fans and never above the tiara. Yes.
Nice. So you're standing on your float, surrounded by bumper-to-bumper traffic, waving. Most people have seen you enough times.
I have an
that it's
umbrella.
like, yeah, like it's like, oh, yeah.
You don't have like a roof on
It's
the
a
float?
it's a rainbow colored umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
big. It's like a big golf umbrella.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
I'm just going to sigh, dramatically roll my eyes, and scroll through my phone, like hunched more in my trench coat.
Are we all on the float together?
That's what I
We have
assumed.
now decided we are all on the float together.
I hope so.
That's what I took from his statement.
You're probably going somewhere together, and it is. You're approaching
We're going 2 blocks.
2 blocks, yeah. Right. Come on, guys, let's get in the float. Again.
Walk or
No, darling. We must ride the float.
In style.
Come on, Doc.
You're actually coming up on one of the big bridges that crosses over one of the rivers that flows into the city. It's the Yggdrasil Bridge, named obviously for the World Tree.
Is it arced?
Just slightly. Just slightly.
Last time I tried to cross the bridge, we bottomed out.
It's not that steep. I think you'll be fine.
we hear the engine revving trying to get over the little bump.
No, it's the unicorns. It's pulled by unicorns.
It's full by unicorns.
Maybe it has has a motor. The unicorns are just there for show.
Oh, I was
They
like, this is the
don't-
sound of the
Yes,
unicorn
they're
engine
just there for
revving.
show, darling. Just there
Every now and then it, like,
for show.
bumps the back end of one of the
Punchella.
unicorns, right? So you're approaching the Yggdrasil Bridge, and the traffic is stretching across the bridge. It's very difficult to see anything through the sort of dreary haze. But it's not long before you realize that this traffic seems to be caused not by your typical bumper-to-bumper traffic, but by some disturbance out on the middle of the bridge. And in fact, as your float gets close enough to the end of the bridge, you feel the tremors coming up through the coming up through the float's
Oh
surface.
no!
Is that the
What is
engine? What?
what
No,
is
that's-
happening?
that's not your unicorn
Somebody
stomping again,
investigate
right?
it. No,
A
no.
plume of smoke is rising from the center of the bridge, and you can see like a sort of wave of people that are like getting out of their cars to look, and then like other people that are sort of rushing back through traffic that have clearly like abandoned their cars. Something is happening on the middle of the bridge. that
I
has
investigated.
frightened
Something
people.
happened on the middle of the bridge and it's frightening people.
Oh,
Are you looking that up on your phone? Like you're on Twitter scrolling.
No, no.
Also,
no. It is
looking
the 90s.
outside and seeing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's the 90s.
true. It's
At
true.
best, if it's the late 90s, you've got like a Razor phone or something like that.
I've probably
no
got like
internet.
2 Razor phones
Yeah.
in a comic
Yeah.
book.
There.
Right.
yes.
So yeah, you see some kind of disturbance up on the middle of the bridge, and now it's up to you guys. What do you do?
I'm gonna go check it out.
Somebody should go check it out.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
gonna immediately just leap
Yes.
off and run.
Yes.
You
Yes.
shouldn't-
Go, Moon Moon.
All right,
I-
Moon, you're getting out
Yeah.
and heading out.
Oh, glorious. Go, Moon Moon.
I
Go.
will follow
Yes,
after
find out.
Moon Moon because Moon Moon is a teenager.
Yep. And it's
Yeah.
also difficult for me to see the path through the cars as my eyes are rolling so hard back into my head as Fabio encourages me on.
Yes, Dr. Tree. You should go.
I'll make
go
sure-
babysit the young human.
I will. I'll make sure.
Make sure he doesn't get into trouble
Can
this
somebody
time.
throw my vehicle?
Don't
Wait.
throw the what?
My vehicle is one of those maple seeds. Is it maple or sycamore seeds that has the 2 things on it and it goes like that? So if somebody,
it
that
twirls,
twirls. If
yeah,
someone
yeah,
throws
yeah.
me, I can get a view. But I need someone to.
That is outside of my
Fabio, can you throw me?
skill set.
Throw my vehicle.
I could do many, many things, but
you have
throw
muscles.
throw your vehicle?
Yeah.
How big is it?
It's like this big.
Oh, why? Yes, of course
All right,
I can.
cool.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. I will throw it, and I could use air manipulation to maybe.
Oh no, that's perfect. Yeah,
blast
just like
perfect,
get up into
Yeah.
the air. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. Yeah, this will be a power stunt.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll for your air manipulation?
Okay, so I do percentile dice.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm going to get you to add 1 advantage die because turns out her vehicle is meant to travel on air.
Yeah.
So
Okay, there's an advantage die.
Yeah.
And I have none of the
no challenge dice. Nope.
No challenge dice. Okay, so I am going to. All right, Godspeed, Punchella. Yes, return to us safely.
Wait. If your
Okay.
vehicle is small,
26. I made it, and
Great.
I have a boon.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah.
how do you fit in it?
Because
She
I
changes,
have
she-
transformation.
she's also like a spirit of change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go, Punchella.
All right. So is it sort of like this, where you're like fly free, that kind of thing, or?
Yes.
So it's not a throw. It's just kind of a release.
Right.
Fly.
And the wind picks up and like gusts you.
Yeah.
And so you're like walking between cars, you're shuffling between cars,
Oh no,
slumped
I'm, like,
over.
this is way more interesting than the float.
Yeah.
So I'm like running and like bouncing off of one door, and then somebody opens the door, and I have to like duck and dive and weave. And I'm like, as a teenager, I'm taking the fastest and most difficult path possible.
Of course, right.
I feel like conversely, I'm following behind you in the quickest and most efficient path.
So the
Or
two
slowest
of
and most
you are like
efficient.
going between the cars, and you hear this as her
That's the sound it
vehicle
makes, absolutely.
goes right by.
I just imagine the comic book panels of like. It's like the shot down the way where all these
Yeah.
parked cars, right? And you're just like really small and walking straight towards the camera with each panel. And with each panel, it's me running from left to right, closer and closer across the panel. Like I'm Scooby-Dooing between cars while you're just slowly sauntering.
Totally.
And I'm telling the public, don't worry, we are on this. We will find out.
We
You are-
already knew. Obviously.
Most people
yeah.
this far back are just sort of they're uncertain, they're looking a little nervous, but
Trying to see
no
past
one's
the float.
panicking just yet. Exactly, yeah, trying to see past the enormous float. It's also kind of a overcast, hazy day too, so like visibility isn't super distant. But because he rolled a boon on his
Yes.
roll,
Yes.
basically I'm going to say that you zip ahead of these two. Punchella.
Yeah.
You zip ahead of these two, and he's able to sort of like lift you up so that you get kind of a bird's eye view of the disturbance. And so what you see is, as you go along, and you guys can kind of see the front end of this too, you can see that it looks like about halfway across the bridge, a bunch of the traffic has been smashed out of the way, and like there's kind of a big open area where cars have been overturned. There are cars that have been shoved up against other cars. There's actually a construction vehicle, like a crane truck, that has overturned and is sitting on its side.
Oh, golly.
There is a commuter bus, and this bus looks like it has been shoved up against the railing. Like it looks like it was going one direction. It looks like it was shoved across 2 lanes of traffic and into the railing, and it's kind of like punched through the railing as like teetering over the edge. Not super precariously, but like it's definitely punched off the side. And you can see that there is at the, it's not really at the center, it's sort of at the far side of the clear area. You can see that there is an armored car that looks like it has been shoved, but it didn't overturn. You can just sort of see the skid marks on the bridge. And you can see that there are a couple of security guards who have hunkered down behind this armored car, and they are aiming their weapons. They haven't opened fire yet, probably good given the number of people around, but they are pointing their guns at a massive, hulking person who is stomping across the bridge, and it's clear the one has like hurled these vehicles out from one side to the other. And he looks like, how do I describe this guy? Imagine someone who looks like a kind of like a metalhead in some ways, right? But huge and big and burly, right? Like long, stringy black hair, big, long, stringy beard, like clothing's all ripped because it looks like he's just sort of like ripped out of it. But the distinctive things about him are, first, he has pallid gray skin. Like it just looks sickly and gray. And then the second thing you can see is that like at one point he like shoves a Vespa off the side of the bridge. Like
offended.
Its rider leaps out of the way as he shoves off the bridge, and he sort of turns, and you can see from your vantage point, you can see that like the sort of the eye and a bunch of his cheek and back towards his ear, you can see like exposed bone there as well. So you can see like his skull. Okay, and that's where we're going to start the conflict scene now that you are in, and you can see what's going on. So the way that initiative works is I have these initiative cards here. There is one card for each of you, plus some cards for villains and complications. And what I'm going to do is at the start of every round, I'm going to deal out a line of those cards, and that's going to be the initiative order. And then at the end of that round, I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to shuffle them again, and then deal them out randomly the next time. So it's sort of random each time. Now, some of you may have powers or abilities, or I know you're the leader, right?
Yep.
Yeah. You can actually manipulate the initiative track, and then some enemy abilities manipulate the initiative track. So basically what's going to happen is I'm going to deal it out. Then I'm going to do any manipulations that my enemies have, and then I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to manipulate the initiative track, and then we start going in order from one side to the other. So I'm going to go ahead and deal out the first row. Looks like we got leader, villain, booster. Now you'll notice.
Wait a minute.
You'll notice.
There are 2 villains.
2 fists. The 2 fists of villainous justice.
That villains.
Oh my
multiple
gosh.
cards.
Feeling is a lot.
It turns
2
out.
fists, 2 feet.
Turns out that villains, to oppose a whole team of superheroes, they need to take multiple turns.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
Yes.
You will probably want to prep multiple ally initiative cards.
I have ally cards here.
Great.
Yes.
I just want to make sure you have them on hand because that is all I can do. Great.
Good.
You have friends.
You know, actually, I probably do
Friendship
just summon
is
copies of myself
magic.
from,
Yeah.
from
And they
slightly
are-
alternate worlds.
Alternate realities, that's perfect.
So, are you the booster then, right? And you're the controller.
I am the controller, so I can
Okay.
essentially I can hinder the enemy when they roll.
Now, this guy's not really paying much attention, and you can also tell that whoever this creature is, he is moving sluggishly. Like everything is very plodding, very, like stomping as he goes along. So he actually has a weakness called Sluggish that makes me move 2 of his initiative cards down the track a little bit.
Okay.
So he actually goes a little bit slower.
I'm not super fond of him going twice in a row.
Well, he,
at
yeah,
the tail end
because they're
there.
going to go at the end. Can characters voluntarily like delay?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, you being the controller, you might be able to soften some of this up or take away some of the
Yeah,
power.
sure.
Down
I
that
mean,
track.
it's pretty good. We're kind of
Yeah,
front loaded,
yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe we can take
well,
him out by the time we get
I
there.
mean,
Yeah.
while I'm tempted to advance someone because I can, I also think there's some advantage to finding out what the villain can do
Yeah.
Yeah.
before all of us have done our actions.
I think
So
you're right.
I'm going to pass on this,
Okay.
my leader ability.
Okay. Anybody else?
I have nothing to
For
manipulate it with.
adjusting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just
As a
punch
side note, I
things.
can communicate telepathically with all of you because we are in the same world and same dimension of reality.
So
currently.
you are a headset.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that essentially means that
I love you.
you can all communicate freely with
Dr.
each other
Tree.
at any distance.
And it's telepathy,
I
so
hope you know
that
how
he really
valuable
loves
you are to me.
I do.
There, Junie.
Yeah.
Junie.
Yes.
Yes.
You,
I'm listening.
we gotta
Start this conference call. We're all on speaker right now.
What? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear? Is it working now?
I see you're living that work from home life too.
what
You want
we
to
got?
restart, maybe?
What are we gonna call it? Gray bone, bone face.
What's going on
Bony
down there?
McBonerson?
You're the
His
only
eyeballs-
one who can see it.
I relay everything that Rodney has.
All right,
said.
keep it
space.
together, Fabulous. Yes, let's go into action.
I'm calling it now. His eye socket haunted.
Well, you're probably right, but he looks fleshy and therefore can succumb to the beautiful death that awaits us all.
I would like each of you.
I'm morbid, okay?
No, I get that. I get that.
I would like each of you to roll percentile dice for me real quick and tell me the number.
I would love to. I get
45.
18?
37.
88.
Great. So Punchella, you
Well-
actually
Fingers.
you have a history with this villain actually.
Ooh.
Oh,
See, you have faced Grave Robber in your solo series.
Grave robber.
Yes, in your solo series, and you know that Grave Robber is a powerful brute who is apparently undead, but not like a mindless zombie, just brutish undead, and is you know that he is basically under a curse that has made him this way.
Now, Rodney, when you say brutish,
Yes.
do you mean that like he's
Brutish.
dumb and he punches things, or that like he just really spends a lot of time in the rain pondering things?
Not
Brutish.
brutish.
Oh, that's a shame.
Brutish. Yes.
Thought maybe you could find someone to hang out
Yeah,
with.
you've
and chat
you've
and,
tangled with Grave Robber
get some
before.
sad tea with.
You might be
and
young,
know that
but
he is
you
a-
again are also fleshy and therefore can succumb to the glorious death and
Yeah, I know, but
rebirth
that's
that
not what we were
awaits us
talking
all.
about. We were talking about excitement, and then like I backflip over a car.
And I just walk 2 steps to the same spot. Children.
Yeah, you know that Grave Robber is you've faced him before. Typically in situations where it's just sort of he's making trouble, trying to knock over a bank or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's because not a mastermind. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It looks like we got Robbie McBoneface down here on the ground.
Oh, yes.
I suggest punching.
Didn't he have a different name?
has
His real name is Robbie Graves.
well has he
obviously.
hurt anyone?
Oh, Robbie Graves?
Sure.
Are we sure it's a villain? Has he hurt anyone?
He has half a face.
I think he
Kinda-
also.
But this is a diverse city. We can't hold that against
I
him.
think I'm just gonna turn to the bus that's teetering with like full of screaming people in
I
it.
think the bus is his fault. That
Oh, okay. Well, then the Fabulous Four must spring into action. Go team!
All right, boss.
All
What's
right,
your plan?
so you're going to be up first. You know all about this because of the telepathy and
Right.
everything. So
Right.
you get to take your turn. So basically,
Well,
on your turn,
I-
you
Is
take
the worst.
you describe what you want to do. You get to take one action and
Okay.
move. And
I will tell the people it is time for Fabio to enter the Fabometer. And I go into this very big cushy bed that's up on the
I'm
float.
Yes, continue.
And I lay down on the float And then it appears as if I just rise up and fly and float through the air, and I wave to all the fans as I float through the air, astral projection, toward the scene of the battle.
Okay.
And fear not, Fabio is on his way. Yes, okay.
Okay.
So do I roll or something for this or
So
not?
for that one, you don't need to roll. You just
But
put the
if-
time tokens on.
4 time tokens.
Yep.
Got it.
All right. So you basically project yourself astrally.
I do.
And your corporeal form lies upon
On the
the
bed. Yes.
and you
Very perfectly, just laid perfectly down, made sure everything was...
You tucked yourself
Yes,
in.
I tucked my...
Or did
You don't want to get cold.
nightcap.
Yes.
Is there a
mask.
tiny stuffed unicorn that you grip onto as well?
Wait. Do you have staff?
Yes,
Do you
we
have
ha-
people to like make you tea, to like look over you? Do you
Of
have like
course
people
we
or
have.
gnomes or creatures or what are they?
elves. Little
Elves.
elves.
Okay, little
yeah,
elves.
Elves.
Yeah.
Elves in our float.
Yeah, they're
I
elves.
can't
and
wait to
floats.
find
The
out
whole
that like elves are your servants, but like Santa Claus ends up being the ultimate villain we have to face. 'Cause he's also trying to use elf labor.
Yeah, his float
Competing for
flies.
resources. Yeah. Okay, so that was Fabio.
That was my action.
And so, you're once you enter your astral form, are you moving up to
where,
where the villain is and everything?
Yeah,
Okay,
to
great.
where
Just-
they're at.
Just
you
wanted
know,
to make sure.
Where I can supervise.
Sure.
Get a good view of my team and how everyone's doing, and,
Okay.
and of course wave to the crowds.
Okay, great. So, in this scene that I've described, basically, in addition to seeing the villain and the armored car and everything, you know that there are tons of bystanders all over the place that are in danger. There is also a critical complication, and so that's what's represented by this yellow complication initiative card right there. Basically, the critical complication in this scene is that passenger bus that I described. So it's hanging off the edge there. If it goes too long, and the bridge keeps shaking like it is, it could slide off into the water. So basically, every time this card is going to come up, that complication could get a little bit closer to going real bad. Just so you know.
Yes.
Okay.
There's not a lot I can do about that, so...
Yeah, leave that to me. I will. If it's still there when it comes back to me, I will take care of the bus.
Okay. Moon.
Great. So I'm gonna
save the
like
people, 'cause they'll
do
love
like
me.
a somersault forward, like land on 2 feet, like do this, and be like, "That's right, team, roll out!" And then like
Into it now.
yeah, and then I'll like roll into 2 different ones, and like one will have a purple trench coat, and one will have like an orange trench coat.
What are you doing?
I'm summoning
Acrobatics.
another copy of myself.
Another copy of
Yep,
yourself.
Yeah.
I'm summoning another version of myself from another alternate timeline. And I'm gonna we're gonna high five. And
Do
I'm
your
gonna
copies get annoyed? Like, what if they're in the bathroom or something when you summon them?
well,
Can you choose the moment that they were in?
there's there's
time.
probably like an editorial column in one of the issues that explains how my powers work. Because at first it's just like, oh, they make copies of themselves. Like several years later, some weird creator takes over and is like, we should need to detail this in extreme, and that's where we
What
find
were
out
you
all these.
gesturing at me?
I don't know, huh? Anyway, moving on.
So do you have to spend some time, like every once a week or so, where you're just ready to go into action and you just stay in that mode for a while, so
Well,
that
so-
you have,
So
so that
you can be summoned?
so that you can be
What we do
summoned
is
later.
We find out that there's actually like this weird Discord server that just people are like, yeah, I'm ready to be summoned. You just log in and you clock in.
or
Share
are
a
you?
calendar?
Or are you accumulating up to like the last 10 years of your life? You're going to have to do absolutely nothing so
Who
that you
knows?
can be summoned.
Who knows?
Yes.
Anyway,
You're deep in summoning debt.
yep. So I summon
Okay.
and put 3 counter tokens
All
here.
right. Since yours is also pretty special as far as the initiative track goes, why don't you describe what it does?
Yeah. Well, so it summons a duplicate, or summons a thing that has resistance 50 and 50% skill on whatever, and it obeys my commands. So I'm going to summon another copy of myself, who is mostly as good as me.
Does it obey your commands?
It just basically means he
or-
gets to decide what they do.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
do you kind of
I think
conference
they-
about it?
I feel like
They're
if
not-
they obey Derek's commands, but not Moon's
Right,
commands.
Yeah.
So Moon goes into a somersault roll, comes out in a hero pose, and it's like, team assemble, and then just splits off into 2 different colors.
That's pretty sweet.
who high five.
High five.
And they both say at the same time, like, go distract Robbie McBoneface while I go take care of the bus, and we just head off in 2 different directions.
Okay, great. So I've added an ally initiative card to the track, and in case other allies get added, I have more cards for that. But yours has the booster symbol down on the bottom there, so I know which one's yours.
Clever.
Nice.
We're gonna need more.
Well, we'll see how long this scene goes.
Oh, every opportunity I have.
I know very well. Very well.
It's just a hard one.
Okay, and that was
You're gonna
your
intentionally
action.
Well,
drag
yeah.
this
So
out.
here I have orange and purple. I can actually use the different colored dice to keep track of the versions of myself.
I love it. I
Great.
love it.
All right, so you have split in twain.
All right, what does Robbie Graves do?
Okay, so
Is he Rob E. Graves?
of course, 100%,
Okay.
100%. Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah.
All right, so he's not actually aware that you guys are coming to mess with him yet. I mean, like,
Very
he
sneaky.
might have heard you two high five, maybe, but I doubt that. So he is actually going to go stomping over to the armored
There are
car.
people pointing a gun at him. So
There are. Okay, so he goes stomping over to the armored car, and the security guards, they look like they want to open fire, but he just completely ignores them. He walks up to the back of the armored car, and you think he's going to like reach out and like rip the doors open, but he just kind of like tilts his head and looks at it for a second, and then he punches the back of the armored car. But it doesn't like cave in or anything. It just like clang on the metal, and then you see the metal like rust starts to grow out from where his hand hit, and then like the rust starts to corrode and collapse.
He's a rust
basically,
monster.
He sort of rust monsters that door.
the worst. We're out. I'm out.
Everybody, throw down their weapons and armor. We gotta fight him fist to fist.
Yeah, and so basically,
I have none.
I'm like, what? And I'm holding 2 razor phones.
no. And you see that, you hear that as this is happening, you're close enough, and you're actually still right above him, basically,
Yeah.
right? So you can also hear he's sort of sounds like he's chanting something under his breath, and it doesn't sound like a weird other language or anything. It sounds like he's like saying like, nothing outlasts the grave. Nothing outlasts the grave.
That's
nothing
what I'm
outlasts
trying
the
to
grave.
tell everyone.
Right.
It looks like his singing skills are a bit rusty.
You take 20 damage. All right. So, just for clarity for the folks listening on the stream, if they're wondering, basically, he has an objective. He just progressed his objective once.
Who does?
The grave robber does.
The grave robber.
Robbie
Rusty.
Graves.
Oh,
Rusty.
yeah. Okay.
All right.
The rust
McBoneface.
monster.
And now I believe it is Punchella.
All right.
All right, Punchella.
So I have a history with this guy.
do.
And I believe that the obvious solution is punching with myself
Have
as
you
the
ever tried that
fist.
before?
Punching?
Yeah.
Once or twice.
Okay.
I've been known to punch on occasion.
You're a known puncher.
I'm a known puncher. Yeah.
It's actually punchist.
A known punchist.
A world-renowned punchist.
All right. I'm just going to describe what my intention is because I believe my abilities will allow me to do it over
Totally.
a series of turns. So I can transform and then have kinetic energy manipulation. So for this round, I just want to become, I can change shape, color, material, and density of my flesh. So I want to become a thing that is very dense.
You're up in the air.
Yeah.
So just become like a ball of lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depleted
basically.
uranium.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And so
Whatever.
you can use all your powers as attacks. So that is a totally legitimate way. Like if you want to basically like make yourself super dense and then like slam down on him.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you can just like straight up attack him. You will roll for your transformation.
Okay.
And because you are getting up close to him and essentially making a melee attack, whenever you're up close to make a melee attack, you add 1 advantage die to the roll.
So you would say he's a metalhead, right? That's how he was described?
Yeah, kind of. Like he's kind of. Oh boy. Oh boy. Walked right into that one.
Would you describe Punchella as starting a mosh pit with him?
All right.
perhaps?
Please save us from Derek.
All right, so I get an advantage.
Yes.
And then do the.
Yep. And he. Oh, actually, and I'm going to
We're
give you
in
1 more
comics,
advantage die
come on.
because he's not aware of you at all.
Okay, cool.
How can you be
And
in a
this
comic
is
book
for
and
just
not
the
make puns?
transformation? Or
Yeah, basically, like, you can use any of your powers to attack. It just
Okay.
sort of just depends on how you describe it.
Oh.
And the way that you described it makes me think that, yeah, you're using transformation to attack.
Okay, cool. Derek, I'd like you to read them and weep.
What?
I got those, the two.
Well,
two
so I could
advantage.
use my booster ability to make you re-roll those.
Why would you do that? I
But
rolled
why?
great. I think I rolled great. I got a 60 and.
Yep. So a 60 is a success because your chance of success on that is 70.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to hit. You deal damage equal to the number you roll. So you're going to deal 60 damage to him.
Excellent.
And you roll 2 boons. Okay. Yeah, he is not
So
aware
boom,
of
boom.
you. So what I'm going to say is that
Moon.
basically you crash down on top of him. You're going to do 60 damage to him, so I'm going to go ahead and record that. And when you land on him, you sort of knock him to the ground and daze him. And so what that does is that gives the 2 security guards a chance to sort of make their way to safety.
Oh, excellent.
So they sort of see you there, and they're like, "Oh, good, superheroes are here. It is time for us to go."
Yeah.
And so the 2 security guards, they are going to leave. So I'm going to mark that as having progressed the complication of protecting innocent bystanders.
Okay, one quick thing.
Yes.
My disadvantage is I look horrifying when I do my powers.
Okay.
So I don't know if that maybe traumatizes them at all, or
Well, how-
because
how
I
do you-
just
Yeah,
like
what's
that's my
horrifying? Yeah.
I am ghastly transformation. I become visually frightening when manifesting my powers.
Well, what does that look like?
What does
when
that
you
mean for
become
you?
Super dense. No, you like.
Yeah.
Yeah, for your character, what does that mean?
Let's see. This is my weakness. Just it's like looking into the void. Like
Do not
staring-
despair. Do not despair. She's with us. It's okay. It will pass.
Staring into your deepest
It's like an
Nightmare.
existential crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe
Looking is it looks like looking into an existential.
Yeah.
Because I'm the
Twitter.
embodiment of change too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
yeah.
So maybe not so much a great relief from the security guards, so much as, oh no, more terrible things. So in terror they run, but I'm
Okay.
going to count that anyways.
But they at
Excellent.
least run.
Yeah.
Yes. So because that, basically what I did was I said, okay, your 2 boons let you progress a complication.
Sweet.
So you get a hero point for that.
Oh, excellent. Woohoo.
Okay, and so that was Puncello, and that leaves Dr. Tree.
So I'm thinking that because the villain is going to go 3 times without any of us doing anything until our moon duplicate shows up, I am going to.
Duplicate.
Yeah,
I sort of walk in like I've been following this teenager. You know, I see Grave Robber, and I feel like maybe there's a certain shared like kinship that we're both. So, nothing can escape the grave. I understand the circle of life, the cycle of life and death and change, and you are looking like you just got crushed under a large weight. Perhaps you should just go home and think about your life choices until death comes for us all. And I would like to telepathically communicate that to him as an attack in order to get him to stop what he's doing, because I can use a hindering attack instead of one to deal damage.
Yeah, so are you
Ooh,
basically
nice.
trying to telepathically sow doubt in his mind that
That he should go home. You should go home, rethink your life
Go-
choices. You
right,
don't want
right,
any
yeah,
death
exactly.
stakes.
Yeah, yeah,
Back to the cemetery.
Just lie down for an eternal nap.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and give me the roll for your attack?
All right. And it says, so I put the 2 time tokens on it, make
Yep.
it a hindering attack, and add 2 advantage dice to the roll. Is what it
Okay.
says. Yes?
Wait, is it 2 advantage dice or
It looks like. You wrote this, so.
I did. So these are actually old cards.
So I just roll it?
Yeah, you'll.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. That's fine. I get a 59, so that is a success.
All right, great. All right, so this is. All right, great. So what actually happens is you're going to give him 2 challenge dice.
Okay, cool.
So on the next roll he's going to have 2 challenge dice. Okay, so you telepathically reach out, you sow the seeds of doubt in his mind, and when you are touching his mind telepathically, you can feel, I would sort of describe it as like hopelessness, right? Like he knows that he is cursed, but he's sort of accepted it. He's sort of like Evil Hulk in a lot of ways, right? Where it's just like, oh, I have this curse that's upon me. oh well, might as well be a bad guy, like that kind of thing. But yeah, like you are definitely making him question what he's supposed to be doing. But as you do that, like you feel his doubts are rolling around in his mind. It's like something else, like a third party, reaches out and starts suppressing the doubts that you planted in his mind.
The necromancer.
All right. Now it's Grave Robber's turn. So you just landed on top of him. He
Yep.
doesn't know that you're the one that's.
So question, because
planting the
this
doubts
one
in
was
his mind.
intended to be, it says flip their initiative card instead of dealing damage.
Oh.
My controller ability is what adds challenge
That's
dice.
right. That's what it is. Okay, cool. Right. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah,
that
you
makes
basically yes.
Because I was just trying to get him to miss a turn.
Yes.
Oh,
my
that's
bad,
great.
my
I don't
bad,
deal
my
any
bad.
damage, but
Yep.
I make them like
Yeah.
freeze for
them
the
Yes. So
missing
that's
it.
Yeah.
that's actually what happens.
That's
okay.
that's
yeah,
fantastic.
right, right.
That's great.
And
My
then
bad.
because I could also then do the controller ability and add challenge dice if we want to like.
Might as well, 'cause
may
that's-
as well.
he's gonna-
So I'm gonna spend. I'll spend one
Okay.
to give him one challenge die on his
Oh,
next.
is it 1 for 1?
Yeah, it's
okay.
1 for 1.
All right, great.
Thanks. For each hero point you spend, add 2
Ooh,
challenge
I thought it was
dice.
2. Okay.
So
Yeah,
2 for
I
1.
have a question on mechanics. For these things that we can spend hero points on,
Yep.
is that during our turn only?
The one that's heroic effort is on your turn. It's when you make a roll. The other one, the teamwork maneuver, that's anytime any of your allies make a roll. So basically, that's how you tag team with somebody else. You
Okay.
can give them advantage dice. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so because you were sowing doubts in his mind, it distracts him long enough that he misses a turn. Now the critical complication comes up. So the bus begins to slide off the side of the bridge.
Moon Moon! I just send this telepathically.
There is
Moon
a-
Moon,
Yes, yes.
get your stuff together.
No, you just say yes, but
Get
it echoes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes, yes. Get yourselves together. Deal with the bus.
On it.
Yeah. So the there's a screeching sound.
Love you.
There's a screeching sound as the bus begins to slide off the side of the bridge. Now it's his turn. Whatever it is that was suppressing the doubts in his mind seems to sort of shake him out of his daze, but he is clearly still affected by your telepathy.
My overwhelming
You have
judgment.
landed on top of him,
Yeah.
basically. So he's like pushing himself up from the ground, and he actually reaches down, and I assume that you're still like lead, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He actually picks you up, and he is going to take you and try and throw you up against the side of the bridge, where there's sort of like viney guide wires that are holding up the side of the bridge. Yeah, let's do that. All right.
That sounds like it could cause some problems for
Yeah.
the bridge's
A melee
structural
attack.
integrity.
He's got 2 challenge dice from your controller ability.
Yep. You're making bad life choices. Go home and rethink your decisions.
All right. That'll cancel out. Okay, so. All right.
I don't like that laugh.
No, it's actually fine. It's actually fine. So he's going to use his special ability, You Dare to Challenge Me. He throws you, and as he throws you, he's actually going to throw you at your duplicate.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So as
Great when there's 3 of you.
so from his attack, because
about
he
that.
rolled he rolled a 14, and then he rolled a drawback. I'm going to subtract 10 from his
I
damage. So
feel
you're going
longer
to take
sentences duplicating everything.
4 damage.
Everything would be
Okay.
bad.
So you take
Bad.
4 damage, but you are being hurled into
So I'll just do the last word.
Moon's duplicate.
How much damage can we take? Or is that what the
100
is that the
resistance,
resistance?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, so I just go down to 96.
I feel like it's like you soak 100 and then after that's when you actually get hurt.
Yes. However, because he used his ability to knock you into Moon's duplicate, each of the 2 of you are going to take 36 damage.
Additional damage?
Yes.
Ooh.
So you took a total of 40. Moon, your duplicate, took 36.
Oh no. Ow.
I would like to reduce the kinetic energy. I think I can reduce Moon's damage because it says on somebody else.
When someone else takes physical damage, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
do
okay.
what someone else does.
Good.
Take time. So
Job,
I will still take
Punchella.
my damage.
You'll still
but
take
you'll
yours.
take 20 less.
Yes. So 16 instead of 36.
Dang, that was a lot.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay. And that was that turn.
60.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And so you and your duplicate get thrown up against the side of the bridge where the sort of support wiring is. And then when that happens, he sort of sees the two of you laying there. He's actually going to grab onto the side of another car and shove it across the ground and try and pin the two of you against the railing.
Oh dear.
That is going to hit you, and it's going to hit your duplicates. When he does this, basically he shoves the car over, pins the two of you up against the, or you and your duplicate up against the railing, and so he's sort of done kind of what Lauren's character did to him. So each of your characters are going to have 2 challenge dice on rolls they make on the next turn as they have to disentangle themselves from the car that's pushed them up against the railing.
So I think I am going to have to use different colored dice to track the conditions on my different duplicates. so challenge dice on purple.
It is now your ally.
This sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
You brought this on yourself.
Okay, it is now Moon's duplicate's turn.
Great. So we're pinned by this car thing?
Yeah. And you can basically like claw your way out of it, but
yeah,
it's gonna.
I think that Moon is gonna slip out of it because as a teenager, it's not gonna be trapped. But like the car like is big and like I'm totally safe. So then I'm gonna try to pull whatever you are at this point out of it. So I'm gonna try to help you out of the car wreck.
Okay, I'm a big lead ball.
All right, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do that?
Well, a big lead ball.
Well, that's small. I think I'm small but dense. I'm very
small but
heavy.
dense?
Yeah.
Just
Maybe
drop
I'm,
her
like,
and he'll roll
embedded
away.
in the
Can I climb in the window of the car and try to drive it forward?
Sure.
Great, I'm gonna do that.
You got a skill you want to use for that?
Yeah, 50% everything.
Use anything else? All right. Sounds good. Oh, it's your duplicate. Yeah.
The summonings
50%,
don't have anything else.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Hey, 31, no bads.
Oh, great.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Very nice.
All right. So yeah, you basically climb in. This car had been abandoned, so but fortunately it was still running. So you stomp on the gas and like peel out. And how old of a teenager are you? Are you like driver's license age or like learner's permit?
I mean,
15 and a half.
I've driven some cars, but I ain't supposed to. So like, so Moon 2 is like,
Sounds great. Okay, so you are no longer pinned, so no more challenge dice.
Oh,
for you.
sweet.
Is that-
Yay.
am I still
Thanks, Moon.
challenged for next time or no?
No.
Okay.
It's just that turn. All right, so that's the end of the round. I'm gonna scoop these up, reshuffle,
Could go from
and
first to
see
last.
what happens here. All right. I got Moon, Punchella, Bad the Gay, Dr. Tree,
All right.
Bad the Gay,
All right. I got
Bad the
him.
Gay,
Okay. Well.
Bad the Gay.
Okay.
Where's the leader?
Fabio.
Fabio.
Ahead of the complication. Okay, well, that's good.
Duplicates at the end again.
Okay.
All right, so he will move these two down because of his sluggish weakness. And now I leave it to you if you want to manipulate the initiative track.
Well, the complication's near the end, which is good. So what, Derek, what do I know about Moon's ability to help the bus?
Well, no.
Nothing? No real ability?
So there's that.
Okay.
Would you trust a teenager to evacuate a bus? I mean, basically, like,
I trust everyone in my team to be able to do wonderful and heroic things.
Oh, I love Fabio.
I do.
I'm good at finding trouble, is what I will say.
Okay.
Hey, I found some trouble.
He can improvise. He can improvise. You would be surprised at what Moon can come up with. But I do think maybe we might have to try other things as well. Okay. No. Well, we don't want it. Like the hero points come back after this battle.
Yeah.
So we should use them.
Yeah.
And, like okay.
Yeah.
You
Well,
absolutely should.
then I'm going to use one hero point to put Moon's duplicate in front of the complication, which might help a little bit.
Right.
I don't think it will, but I just love to see what he does, and
Sure.
he's got a great fan base.
So good.
The younger sect, a lot of kids tune in, watch him.
The kids
Kids
love
love
the
him?
Moon.
I connect with the Mooners.
Yes, collect with the Mooners. Yes.
All right, Moon, you're
All
up.
right. Yeah.
So
That episode where there were 8 Moons running around, that was a big hit.
Too many.
Night of the Moons.
Yep. Night of the Living Moon. So I think that
The time they took over to float, that wasn't so
I
good.
guess if you have 5 moons, you have a full house. Full moon.
Yep.
Full moon.
So like honestly, I think actually I'm
Moon anyone.
I'm gonna just high five my duplicate as like they drive the car towards the bus to go help the bus, realizing that none of my skills are actually going to help me get people out of this bus.
Okay, sounds good.
And instead, I'm going to go distract
Grave robber.
Robbie.
McBoneface.
McBoneface.
And basically like run up to him and just be like, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to run towards him and be like, what are you doing? You're just throwing everybody anywhere. If you're depressed, we can talk about it. Just talk to her. Look, she really needs a friend to talk through this morbid stuff too.
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah, but you are depressed.
No,
He's depressed.
Well, he might. Why are we having this conversation?
You can be depressed together. So I'm going to just try to distract Robbie McBoneface.
Okay, sure, sounds good.
Oh, and this comes off because
It's your turn. Yep.
Yes.
1. So success.
Yeah, there's a success. Okay.
You never know what Moon will do.
Yeah. Okay.
Try to get a date for Dr. Tree.
So you're trying to distract him so that. What's your goal? To basically give your allies an opening, or keep him from attacking them?
So I want to keep him from making the situation worse by either attacking civilians or attacking the armored car.
Okay, great. All right.
So basically, you're trying to get him to aggro us instead of anyone else.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Yeah. So you basically run up and start yelling at him, get his attention, and at first it looks like he's going to sort of turn away, and then he like takes a second look at you, and he's like, "Wait a minute, what?" Like everyone else should be running in terror, so he's shocked that you're up in his face like that.
Yeah, and my trench coat was a different color the last time you attacked.
It was a different color. Yes, that's right. Okay. Cool. All right. So you have distracted him, and now that brings up Punchella again. So you were pinned up against the side.
Now to catch
Yeah.
everyone up, Punchella, last we saw it was turned into a lead ball. And go, Punchella.
Wait, are you actually projecting to provide commentary? Color commentary on the fight?
Yes,
He's doing the narration.
I'm doing the narration for everybody,
So I
telling
can
them
still
about how the battle's
move,
going.
So I'm just a very heavy, dense thing. I guess some of these come off.
Yep.
But I can like
each.
throw myself. Can I just do a regular attack? Do I have to use my abilities, or?
I mean,
what-
you can use any of your powers to attack, and you can do
'Cause I-
other things as well.
Okay, because I can't use these.
Right, you
'cause
can't use
they're-
those two.
Okay.
But you still have your third power there,
Invisibility. Mm-hmm. Okay.
and you can totally use that to attack as well.
What if I use all my powers and then I don't have any left? What do I do then?
Well, next turn,
These two will
those are going to
come.
come off, so you'll be fine there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I will become invisible and heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
basically,
invisible.
do you become like transparent? Transparent lead.
Yeah.
Punchella has turned invisible. I can't tell you where she's at.
Yeah. Enemies will take challenge dice to attack me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I roll for that.
Yeah. So describe exactly how you're going to attack him while you're invisible.
Oh, so I can attack
Oh yeah.
as well?
Oh yeah. You can totally
Roll
attack
over
with
its
invisibility,
foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So
You could
I'm
also help
going
the bus,
to.
too.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You could also help the bus too if you're not sure about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm closer.
I do
mean,
like the idea
think
of just
the-
rolling over his foot.
Sure. I'll roll over his foot.
So you're gonna are you gonna use your invisibility when you do that, or are you just gonna like
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Great.
I'll invisibly roll over.
Okay, great. So yeah,
Making think he's going crazy. What happened?
Punchella's giving it the boot.
all right. So Punchella, you basically like you're this lead ball.
Yeah.
That like sort of shimmers and becomes transparent.
Yeah.
And then goes bowling straight towards him.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. So this can be another melee attack. So you'll get to add an advantage die to this.
Okay.
And again, you're invisible. So that's probably. Oh, you're gonna actually do the thing that turns invisible for the next turn. Because basically,
Yeah.
like, if you
Don't use the invisibility. The
if you don't
cameras
want
won't
to,
pick you up.
If you don't want to, you don't have to use this part.
Okay.
You can just make your attack with invisibility.
Yeah, that's something I was going to ask, Rodney.
Yeah.
Okay.
For my summoning. So
Yeah.
I've used it to summon a duplicate.
Yeah.
But can I still use my summoning to make an attack where like both me and my duplicate try to punch at the same time?
Yeah. Once your time tokens are off. you
Okay,
can.
but while time tokens are on there, I can't use that power.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, does that mean while time tokens are on here, you can't communicate with me telepathically?
No, you
no,
can't make
anything that's
attacks
like an
with it.
always-on ability, just
You want to just like.
Nice try. Try.
You're just always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
We're
I
in your
tried.
head.
I really tried.
Your telepathy
Ooh,
is
you got a boon.
over capacity.
Ooh, I got a
Oh,
boon.
but a
Oh gosh, I got a
92.
92.
yes.
Well, we're all working for
All right.
Fortunately, no one saw it.
All right. So you go rolling towards him, and you think you're about to like slam into him. At the last second, though, he sort of turns and looks and dives out of the way. And what the rest of you and the viewers or the comic book reader could see is that basically because you're made of lead and you're rolling across the ground, you're like carving a groove in the ground as you come towards him. So he dove out of the way and missed you. But I'm going to say that basically your boon there is going to give you 10 of your resistance back.
Oh, great.
So basically, as you sort of force him to dive out of the way, you get a moment to collect yourself, and he has now seen where you are.
Yeah, I'm not
and,
sneaky.
Yeah, and basically, like all of your powers, when you use them to attack, they're assumed to last basically for the duration of that action or whatever, right?
Okay.
So you basically become visible again once your turn ends, and
There she is.
he looks like he.
There she is, rolling down the street.
It looks like he's about to come charging towards you, but at the last second he sort of stops, and at the last second he stops, turns around, faces the armored car, and goes like stomping back over to it. This time he runs up to it, throws his shoulder into it, and just smashes the rusted back doors in.
He really has a thing for that car.
Hey, buddy, I'm over here. Here. And over here. Here.
Oh,
You're enjoying this way
What?
too
What?
I love it. I love it.
So
We're not sure why, but now the monster is attacking the car. The people have already left the car.
all right, he smashes his way into the armored car. But as he does so, you can see that like jagged hunks of rusted metal jab into his body, and so he actually hurts himself as he does that. Okay, and now it is Dr. Tree's turn.
So I definitely don't have a skill set that is physical. At least today. That the sorcery thing, I can go do some research later. But I am curious what he is trying to get at in there. And I think I have one of two things. One, I can continue down my route of telling him that he's making terrible life choices in a charming way. Or I can read the situation and see if I can figure out what it is that he's after, and perhaps who it is that maybe that higher power that I tapped into in the telepathy, because I feel like he's not the most important thing here.
Sure, yeah, you can do that if you want to.
So I'm not sure. I'm gonna read the situation first, and then
Okay.
I'll tell him that he's making bad life choices later.
Okay.
So reading the situation for me is 80%
Okay, great.
skill.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's actually a thing that I'm kind of good at, except I rolled a 93.
It's not great.
Womp womp.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So like he went barreling into the back of this armored car, so he's obviously not worried about hurting whatever it is that he's after, right? But you can see it's not like the car is full of like money or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like
okay. It's
yeah.
not like, money are
Yeah.
us on the side of the van.
But
It's full of sadness.
but other than that,
Sad van.
you can't tell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll fall back on plan Plan B, which I use with my grad students. So.
Right.
I'm coming back. Next time it comes back to you, I think I might be able to use my occult ability to find out something about who's controlling it.
Oh, that's
and
good. I definitely send that information to you telepathically.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's something else happening inside his brain that's not just his never-ending sadness and existential dread.
So I think that would at least justify a teamwork maneuver where I could combine with your telepathy to add
Next turn I'll get
dice.
telepathy back. So
Help me remember, I do get distracted easily.
do you, Fabio? Do you?
As Fabio just like the astral projection flits around. Oh, what's this?
Ooh, shiny.
All right, so he, let's see here. He has bashed in the back of the armored car. You are sort of rolling around near him. Your duplicate is driving away. You're still pretty far, right?
Yeah, I think I would. I'm in the area, but I think I've just literally stood there.
It's totally fine. Yep. Okay, so you're fine. You're fine. So you're the closest one to him. So he's actually going to wrench off what's left of one of the doors.
Yeah.
He turns around and he throws it behind him, trying to throw it at you.
Unfortunate.
So you're going to hit for 21 damage.
Ooh. Oh, Punchella takes a hit by a flying door.
All right, and now...
Are you okay, Punchella?
No, not really.
She says no, she's
I'm
not
really
okay.
good at treating injuries. Are you hurt?
Yes, a little
Hold on,
bit.
just to clarify, you're good at treating injuries?
Yes. Oh, teenagers are so much fun to have on the team. So laugh
I'm
a
sorry,
minute.
injuries?
They're great for morale.
Okay, but enough of that. So now that brings up Fabio.
Yes, Fabio has arrived. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go over and save the people in the bus.
Okay, great. How are you going to do that?
I am going to fly over my astral form and summon up a big windstorm to push the bus back to safety.
Okay, that sounds great. Why don't you give me a roll for that?
Okay, so now am I using like just the ability, or am I using like the equivalent, like an area of attack to get more? I mean, obviously I want to get a pretty strong wind to be able to move
Sure,
a bus.
yeah. No, like this is just a check you're making with
It's just a check with the power stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's going to be a 70% chance of success because that's your lesser power.
Right.
I am going to give you one challenge die on this roll because it's wind basically against the metal, right?
I understand.
Yes,
I think that is
very well.
fair. That is fair. This is a particularly difficult stunt, everyone. Wind pushing a bus. It's not
I'll
easy.
do the stunt man.
Don't try this at home, children.
Actually, I'm going to give you a second challenge die because since you are in your astral form, basically you're trying to like reach out into the real world and also use wind, so it's a little bit more challenging for you.
Whoa, my astral, I object. It says I can use all my abilities, my powers.
You
and
absolutely can. You totally can.
But it's at a disadvantage sometimes.
For this particular situation.
That's not in
just
the
this
description.
situation. Just this
Just
situation.
this once. Okay.
It's a very heavy bus.
I believe in you.
The GM abilities to apply disadvantages situationally trumps the lack of information.
Don't make
on
Rodney
the
shout,
card.
I designed this game! I can design you out of it!
Flips the table.
That's right. I don't think I'm flipping this bad boy.
Actually,
Okay.
you probably
This table will be crushed before this flips.
That's true.
Okay. So.
You got this. I believe in you. Heart of the cards.
Okay.
cards.
If I
Do
use
it.
if I use heroic effect, can you make that after I roll the dice? Oh yeah, it says after you roll the dice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
86. I have about 80. Okay, I will use heroic effort. There goes another hero point. It's a good thing I have 3. But that means I have to roll another one of these
Challenge
dice.
that, that's right.
Have you rolled anything bad on the challenge dice yet?
Yeah, just one.
Okay, well, so roll that because I can
But
I can
this-
spend a point to let you
This
reroll.
only reduces it to 76. That's still not a success.
No. I have an 80% chance. I rolled an 86. So
No, this
adding
is just for your error
10%.
manipulation.
Oops.
Do you have another
You
token?
can spend another
spend a second
hero
one?
point.
And roll another.
It depends. Do you want to save the bus or not?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Gotta
save these
save
people or not?
Bus. I've got to save the bus.
Easy depths.
I've got
they'll
to
be
save the bus.
fine.
Okay, I'm gonna roll these separately so I don't actually knock one of those.
All right, 3.
Okay,
Two more challenge.
So I'm going to spend a hero point
Okay.
Can I do this twice?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 hero points.
Okay.
You got a lot of those.
And because so each of my duplicates says, "No, watch out for the car full of puppies," and they both say that. So you're going to reroll up to 4 dice, advantage or disadvantage dice to get rid of those.
I can re-roll it.
Yep.
Yes.
So you
Well, I'll re-roll the 3 that are
that's what I'm
bad.
figuring.
That's exactly what you want to do. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you get to re-roll 3 of them.
I got my fingers crossed.
I'm
for those puppies.
sweating profusely. My
But you're
makeup,
astral,
wait,
so we
my
got
makeup
that.
is
Astral
blurred.
sweat?
Astral
You're
sweat.
sloughing off ectoplasm.
Yes.
Watch out for the car full of puppies.
Puppies.
Okay, cool.
Puppies.
Good. Goes from 3 down to 1. That's good.
Only one puppy in
I
there?
can't look. I can't look.
All right. So this gust of wind comes up, and like you're pushing up against the bus, doesn't seem to want to budge, and then slowly it starts to pull back from the edge, and it's not fully back into safety, but you've got it pretty close, and the strain, because of the strain, you're going to take 10 damage.
I took 10 damage.
Yeah, just from the strain
From
of the.
from stress, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
The psychological
This happens
stress.
a lot.
But you did progress that complication, so you do get 1 hero point back.
Elves are going overtime, doing it for the fan and raining some water.
We flash back to your body sleeping on the bed, and it's just like drenched. Like this is just the liquid pooling.
That's right.
I just imagine
Fens are dabbing.
Yes, and yes.
it's a tiny little elf on a tiny little bike powering a little fan.
So, how close are you to Grave Robber and the armored car? Not your duplicate, you.
Yeah, so I think I ran back to distract him.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I tried to get into melee with him.
Okay.
So I guess I'm near him.
Okay, sure. All right. Okay, so seeing you there, he is going to try and flip the armored car up, like basically grab it by the bumper and flip it up on top of you.
Sure.
I have bad news. I have real bad news.
I can see those numbers.
He has a 75% chance of success, and I just rolled a 74, so you're going to take 74 damage.
Is this moon or duplicate moon?
This is real moon.
Ow.
Oh.
Well, so I'm
what
gonna
was he
activate my
trying?
non-human form. And there's gonna be like a flurry of my trench coat to give him 2 challenge dice to that,
Okay.
which I don't think will stop it from happening, but at least hopefully we'll do something.
But you're a teenager, so spite.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so,
basically.
I'm going to say, so he hurls this up. Your trench coat whirls around you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and basically when that when that happens, he sort of staggers a bit as he lets go of the armored car, and so it's going to tip over and crash right next to you, but it's going to reduce the damage to 54 instead of 74.
Great, I love it.
Oh, that didn't look good. Moon, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
He's fine.
For now.
All right.
But soon.
The villain's going again.
Yes.
Trouble for Moon.
I think what's going to happen is he is going to try and start making his way back across the bridge, back the way that you guys came from. So I'm going to give him
Not to the float.
50-50 shot of he's either going to charge through you or through you,
That
because
seems
you're both
fair.
there. All right, so you're low, you're high, and low. All right, so Punchella, he comes barreling towards you.
At
You're in your
49.
lead
Watch
form,
out, Punchella.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
he's
dense.
going to try and throw a shoulder into you, but because you're still in your lead form, I'm going to give him a challenge die on that. All right, so he's going to miss, and these 2 push, so nothing happens. So he basically goes barreling towards you, tries to throw a shoulder into you, but you're able to sort of roll out of the way, and he kind of staggers as he's right next to you. All right, and now it is Moon's duplicate.
I don't think this talking is working. Can someone else punch?
Now,
Nope. Hey.
I would point out
Yep.
that the critical complication, the bus, is not resolved, and it is next.
Well, that's what the duplicate was sent over to do. So I guess the duplicate is going to try to throw open the back door of the bus and be like, "Everyone, out, out!"
So your
None of the
your
people on the
duplicate
bus
was in
thought
that
to
car.
open the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the car ran. I drove over next to it.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure you don't want to use the car in this.
Well, I
rescue
mean,
attempt?
like if there's an angle on the bus where like I can accidentally like ram the car in the front of the bus to make sure the bus doesn't slide back down.
Sure.
Then great, I'll try that.
Try that?
Ramming cars never.
No, basically, like Moon was like driving. Does everybody see I'm driving?
Literally no one is watching.
Why isn't anybody watching? me
Ladies and
driving?
gentlemen, I think Moon is taking the car and trying to hit the bus to knock it off back on road.
No, no,
Moon.
no.
Well, he technically
92.
can't drive.
It's not good. It's not good. All right. Moon.
just rammed
Oh, I'm going to give you an advantage die
Hope he didn't drive off the
for
bridge.
creative use of the environment.
No.
No,
Good try.
Refer to
That
my
was very
earlier
nice of
statements about your dice hating me.
they do not care for you. It is
Make them
true.
re-roll for yourself.
Any hero, I suppose I could.
Yeah.
All right, sure, why not?
Yeah. Boost your ally.
Hey, Rodney.
Hey. How you liking rolling them dice?
Yeah, see?
There
You are great.
Lauren just rolled 3.
Okay.
Oh, you got one. You got one.
Okay. Okay.
The DM really tried to help you.
All right. So here's what
We all
happens.
tried very hard there.
Your car slams into the front of the bus, and you think that you're going to push it so that it won't slide off the side. But I got bad news. You don't hit it at the right angle, and what actually happens is your car hits and then bounces off and spins. Because it turns out that bus is a lot heavier than your gremlin or whatever it is that you stole.
Who would have thought that the bus was bouncy? Bouncy.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as the complication comes up again, there is a groaning sound, and the bus teeters and plummets off the side
I tried.
towards the water.
Wait, I thought I
below.
offset the...
You got it part of the way,
Oh.
but it was not all the way.
Oh.
Yes, these things are time sensitive.
Oh, I am upset.
yes.
Oh.
Yeah, all those people are dead now.
Oh.
Wow.
Well,
No, they're
dying.
just swimming.
Death comes for us all in the end. I'll find them in the morgue later, I'm sure.
And so we see a shot.
If you're going to
Trees
the
have to eat.
if you're going to the morgue, you could take Bobby McBonerface with you there.
Don't think that's his name. I don't feel
Trees
good
have to
about
eat
that.
as well.
That's fine. The two of you can feed the trees.
The two, never mind.
Like a picnic.
Okay.
So we see a panel
Yep.
that's sort of like over the shoulder of Fabio's astral form as the bus just goes off to the other side and splashes into the water below. Punchella, bad guy. Bad guy. This is not great for you guys. All right, Fabio.
At least he's slow.
Dr. Tree.
It's not going to be good for the ratings.
No, it's really not.
This is not good for you guys. Okay, so let's see here. Each one has to move one space towards the end, so I'll go with this one just to let you go first, and this one because that would have an actual impact. There we go. Okay. All right, and that brings up Punchella first.
All right.
Oh, let's hope Punchella can do some damage this time.
So I can add
Do some damage
advantage
to the bus.
dice.
This might be the final hours of Team Fabulous. Or
Yeah, I
The
feel like our
Fabulous
government
Four.
is
Fabio
not-
immediately fires all of us.
no, I take full
okay.
responsibility.
All right, so what do you got for
I
us
pushed
there,
them
Punchella?
too hard.
You're not hard enough. I haven't done a whole lot. Standing there. Serious.
What do you got for us?
Okay. This is complicated.
Do something, Punchella.
All right. I want to be like so I can do a long lasting transformation. I could become like a blanket or a weight.
Oh, you
or
become,
like a.
How did I could become a blanket? Like enter into the battle strategy to deal with. He's cold. If we just warmed him up, he wouldn't be so grumpy and murdering people.
maybe it's a weighted blanket.
A weighted blanket.
It's a lead blanket.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Or just
Yeah.
manacles or restraints.
idea.
Yeah.
A cage, maybe.
Good idea, Punchella.
Well, I want to be a cage or something, but I want to do like a spiky cage because I want to do damage
Okay, yeah, you can do that,
at
totally.
the same time.
So a pain cage.
So an Iron Maiden?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The pain.
This guy's a metalhead.
Yeah,
He'll
see, he
appreciate
would
it.
love the Iron
Yeah.
Maiden. Or
Yeah,
he
you can
should.
totally do that.
Okay, excellent.
Just imagine because you're turning just straight up into it, so it's like moving, like
Yep.
It's terrifying to behold too.
You know,
as
she's
I
like this- she's like-
shatter.
You hear this weird, terrifying version of like Beast Boy from Teen Titans. That's
right.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just turn into this giant, like horrifying Iron Maiden that tries to eat him.
Ooh. Yeah, like but because we're in plant world, like Venus
Flytrap.
trap.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
That works. All right, so you're going to turn into
yeah,
the Venus
so-
flytrap and try and.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to do all of my powers at the same time.
So you're turning into an invisible, super dense Venus flytrap.
Yes.
You're gonna pick one for your roll.
Okay.
For your attack.
Pick the one with the highest
Obviously, the better
percentage.
one. I could use
So if you're
80,
turning into a
70,
Venus
or 60.
flytrap, that's probably
I'll go
your
with 75.
transformation.
Yep.
Just to be fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to perform a teamwork maneuver with her to give her any advantage dice?
And make it look cool.
I mean, given how far down all of us are, I will happily do that.
Okay.
So yeah, when you do that on their initiative.
On their turn, yep.
Right.
So like right
does
now.
Does it slow you down at all on your
Nope.
turn?
You
Yeah,
just have
so-
to spend a hero point.
I will spend one of my hero points to support Punchella
Okay.
with a
Punchella.
rousing telepathic cry of, "You got this."
Sure. Yeah,
I'm
that works.
picturing visions of plants
Yeah,
just
just-
growing as
no,
my brain explodes.
I like the idea. You're like thinking through all of the things that you can be. You're like, I have to be a
Yes.
blanket. No, bad idea.
Not a
No,
blanket.
that one, the murder mouth.
Yeah, yeah,
Go for the murder mouth.
You're critiquing my ideas, like blanket. You're like, no, that's terrible. Like Iron Maiden, better.
Better, improving
mouth.
murder mouth. I like
okay.
it.
Yeah, so then you send her images of plants growing, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know what images of plants growing signifies, right? Just go on a date with them already.
I'm also going to
20.
give you,
Oh,
I'm gonna give
good.
you one more advantage die because this is a melee attack.
28
sweet.
with 2 boons.
Ooh.
Boon, moon.
Yeah, see? Now everyone's into it.
So, Mr. Booster there,
Yep.
I'm going to give you, just throw this out here. Since this is a one shot, we're probably playing with the optional spotlight rule that you only need 3 boons to take the spotlight.
Okay.
If you'd like, you could let her reroll that boon that she.
I need 4. Why does he need 3?
Since it's the one shot, we'll do only 3.
Oh, I mean, like, I can't see the dice from here. So if there is an
Sure.
opportunity for maximum benefit,
Yeah.
I will definitely allow you to re-roll that.
You got a boost, moon.
I will definitely boost.
Boost.
Yep.
Come on, you can
But
do
I'm
it.
definitely
Come,
doing it by
Punchella.
further advocating that you go on a date with Grave Robber.
Boon. Moon.
You know what?
Moon.
I'm gonna let you roll one more time because that one lets you roll 2 dice,
Yep.
right?
2 dice?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because it'll be fun.
You're just like, I'm
Oh, man.
It's because he
apologize.
let you do it.
hysterical.
I apologize for
It's
being involved in any way whatsoever.
Shouldn't have let
Because he
you
let you do it.
booster.
I also did not give you the opportunity to manipulate the initiative track if you'd wanted to.
Yeah, I chose not to.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I only have 1 hero point left.
All right.
Yep,
so
totally.
Did
Takes a
I
hero
do
point,
any damage
And I
with
have
that?
something in
Yes,
mind
you
already.
did. I'm going to say 48 damage because of your 2 boons.
Oh.
Because it's 28.
So it's kind of a default room with the boons and curses.
That's
plus
yeah.
minus
If
10
there's
damage.
nothing major that I could easily say to do with it, then I think it's a good default to go with.
Yeah, that's great.
And so that is 48. Math is hard. Cool. Perfect.
Did he look damaged at all? Like, is there a,
He's taking some hits.
another eye socket coming out?
Yeah, no, he's taking some hits. He's lost some flesh.
Chat earlier suggested, demanded a fleshless femur.
Yes, sure,
fleshless.
totally.
femur.
Yeah, all this getting ripped off
All
his
right,
femur.
Pinchella's probably in a bad spot now, though, because
Panchella's in a bad spot now.
And like from under the armored car, it's just Moon Moon going, I'm trapped under a freaking iron car.
Oh, that's where you are.
You are. You're trapped in a car. Jeez.
Save
What'd
me.
you get? A 67?
Yes.
All right, so you are, you Venus flytrapped around him, right? And is he completely encased in the Venus flytrap, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I can get real big. Sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
Okay, great.
Encased.
He does not taste good. I'm not gonna lie to you. He is mostly dead flesh. And then all of a sudden,
Do not want.
he's gone. Like you clamp down the rest of the way, and just this
You bite your
taste
plant tongue.
of sulfur is in your all in your mouth. And the rest of you can see that the Venus flytrap, like sulfurous
Belches.
smoke, just starts coming up out of her Venus flytrap mouth.
I say telepathically, I think I ate him.
He's gonna give you bad heartburn.
I didn't try to.
You open your
Are
mouth
you-
and he is gone.
Sure. Normally,
Do I still get my
I
turn?
feel like, yeah, you do that.
Do I still get my turn?
That's the end of the scene. He has fled the
disappeared.
scene.
Oh man, I want to go. Can we do something after this?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go down and try and
Oh, yeah.
rescue
Sure.
people in the bus in the water
Yeah.
and do what I can.
Yeah, that
Down
sounds
While you're doing
totally the
that,
kind of thing you can do. Yeah.
I definitely go up to you, Cylind Venus flytrap form, and I just stick my arm in and fish around. No, there's nothing in there. You definitely didn't eat
Are you
him.
sure?
No, I'm confident. And I'm just looking in here. I'm a plant doctor.
That's
I'm
true.
confident
You are
you
Dr.
didn't
Tree.
eat
Yeah,
him.
you
I'm
know. You would
confident.
know.
Close your
Oh,
mouth.
that's early.
You would know. That's right.
From under the armored car, Moon Moon would be like, I'm still here.
But there's
That's cool.
We have a spare now, and I go over to the duplicate.
Yeah, so the purple one comes over and be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you transport by summoning
Yeah.
yourself?
Yeah, I can.
How often do you fill in for each other across parallel dimensions? Like it's a test or something? Can you?
Never.
That's right.
Or it's a,
these-
it's
yeah,
a bad
saving the
date or
people.
something?
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
these
So
go away?
time tokens and everything. Yeah, they totally clear off and everything. Yep.
And we're reset to
Yep.
how many here?
Okay, so the way it works
However
now
many
is
you
basically at
have.
this point, since the conflict scene is over with, what's happened is there's this sort of scene of carnage here, and the bus has gone off the side, and people are still sort of panicking a little bit, and the villain is gone, right? But now it's up to you guys to decide how you proceed from here. Obviously, one of the things you want to do is go down and try and rescue the people from the water, which
try
is
and
totally,
rescue people.
totally a thing that you
And
can
then we're
do.
going to have a staff meeting and talk
Yes.
about what went wrong.
So-
Retrospective.
So to peel back the curtain a little bit so that people can sort of understand how the mechanics work, basically, as you guys decide things that you want to do, you're going to basically create little scenes like you rescuing the people and things like that. Time passes as you are doing things. So the more things you do, the more time passes. And basically, depending on what you choose to do, you're going to catch up with the villain or not catch up with the villain or whatever based on how much time has passed. So just as an FYI, as you do things, other things are going to be happening in the background.
Fun.
I see. That makes sense.
Okay, so you want to go down and try and
Yes,
pull the people out?
try and
So
pull people
Why don't you
out.
tell me exactly what you're going to do to help save the people in the bus?
I'm swimming down. Well, okay, I'm an astral projection, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as soon as the scene ends, my projection disappears, and I wake up, and then I run towards and jump into the
Great.
jump in after them.
Sure, you totally
with
do
my
that. Yeah.
Physical body.
Do you want to use one of your powers to try and rescue the people on the bus,
Well, I'm trying to.
or you can use one of your skills?
I'm trying to figure out. Well, the skills would just be the mundane way of
Sure.
swimming,
Right, yeah,
and stuff like that. I don't see a way. I can use area attacks with air manipulation, but it's underwater, so I don't think air manipulation.
Create
Well,
like a
no, but-
pocket of
but
air.
yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, Fabio has an idea. Thanks to the GM.
It's fine.
Yes, I'll go down and create pockets of air for the peoples.
Okay.
I feel like that's one of the scenes where the comic like has the scene and like Fabio's like, what do I do? And then the comic book author is like, what could Fabio do? Will he create a pocket of air? And Fabio's like, I'll create a pocket of air.
Yes, that's exactly right.
As you bring people back up, I can treat their injuries because I am a plant doctor, but I also
Thank you,
am
Dr.
human
Tree.
doctor.
So I was going to say that since I have nothing of use, I was going to help him rescue people.
Yeah, that
Maybe
makes
the
sense.
two of you, with your actual effective abilities, might want to try to track the villain, perhaps.
I guess I could research something or try and figure out where he went, or analyze.
Like-
the
We could also look
data.
in the
Telepathy
truck.
search for him.
Look in the truck.
So just so you are going
Yeah.
to be able to rescue these people. That's not a
Fabulous.
question, right?
And we'll do a press conference afterwards.
Of course, yeah, as you do. Yep. But I would like you to go ahead and roll for air manipulation because I want to see basically how long it takes you guys to do the rescue.
Okay, sure. Okay, so that'll be the percentile dice.
Yep.
Oops,
Just a
almost
straight up roll for the air
Okay.
manipulation. Yep.
Can I help Fabio with that?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, so the scene ends, so my clone has to disappear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like the purple trench coated one disappears, but I'm like still trapped underneath this armored car. So like I asked through her telepathy for your astral projection to get somebody's phone number, and then under the car I call them with my razor, and then summon myself into the bus to help get them out. That's how I that's how I summon myself, is to phones with
To
my
phones.
Which
Okay,
phones
your
you
razor
call
phone. Okay,
across
sounds good.
dimensions.
All right, so why don't you go ahead
it's
and
very,
roll that, and go ahead and add one advantage die for his help.
It's very Matrix.
Perfect. All right. Okay.
Or her help, I guess.
33.
Great, perfect.
No boon from
Nope, that's
Moon
fine.
Moon.
Yep.
But
Wow.
No boons from Moon Moon.
No Moon Moon.
Wow.
Moon Boom.
But yeah, you're able to basically create a pocket of air, and between you and like the eventual like first responders that show up, you're able to start pulling people out and get them mostly to safety.
And Dr. Tree will treat them.
Yeah. Basically,
Dr. Tree's like, you're still alive, and then pushes them away.
yeah.
I'm already back in the water.
There are some injuries. Some of them are pretty severe. Some people are taken like by ambulance to the hospital, but you managed to get everybody out.
I like how, like a proper Jubilee, I've literally accomplished nothing other than breathe more of the air he summoned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Good try.
you did great.
And I,
While
yeah.
oh, go ahead.
During the press conference, I'll probably be crying quite a bit, and my makeup's really smeared,
Right,
and my
right.
hair's a mess. And
Right.
but I gush about the team and how awesome they are, and I cover all the highlights of everybody on the team, all the great
Nice.
things that they did.
Nice.
I sigh heavily.
So while that's happening, I read the situation, I think, in this instance, to try and figure out, like,
Yeah.
go
you're
back
sort of, like,
to what it
going
was.
back and looking over everything.
Yeah, investigate the crime scene, like,
Yeah.
what did we find? What can I actually, like, it was an Acme money van, so what was in the armored vehicle?
Yeah. Okay, go
And
ahead.
then I will probably take an interlude
Dollar,
scene
dollar.
to prepare a different suite of spells.
Okay, very well.
Dang telepathy. I get a
That's how we
61.
talk to each other.
So I do succeed on my read the situation.
Okay. So yeah, you're looking around. The armored car, like you kind of go look in the back, and it's a little beaten up. The doors have rusted off, but you can see there was like almost nothing inside here.
Okay,
right?
well, why would an armored car have nothing in it? She says,
Almost
standing in there.
nothing inside. There is what appears to be an opened lockbox
Okay.
lying on the floor. Obviously, when he ripped off the door, he was able to get at whatever was inside that lockbox. The other thing you note is that, like, so you check all that out and you hop down and you're walking back to where Punchella is. And you notice something that must have fallen out when you were like opening up her mouth and doing your plant doctor investigation. It's sort of covered in whatever Venus flytrap drool actually is, but you find
Sap
a
secretions.
basically a scrap of parchment, and it's sort of rolled up. It's all tattered on the edges, and when you unroll it, you can see it is covered in strange, arcane-looking runes.
Well, I will take that and pocket it for our occultist to take a look at. Because I'm like, well, those are words.
I indicate what this is, but alrighty then.
All right.
This seems important and perhaps ominous.
I have a quick question for the setting. Where exactly is Woodinville in the United States?
I mean, I think we've established it's kind of misty and rainy today, so I feel like we're in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Out in the Olympic forest.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're on
that's
the,
good.
the peninsula.
Yeah.
Rainforest.
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you find the parchment, and you said you wanted to also basically take time to go memorize or to learn
Yeah,
some
so I
spells?
can, as a sorcerer, I can use an interlude scene to study and prepare a different suite of spells. If I do, draw 5 cards from the power deck, now that you put them all away.
That's fine.
And I can replace any or all, including from selecting from powers I drew or from basic powers, and I can basically put them into any of my slots. So I can change. I go back and study because I don't think I'm prepared for this. Illusions did not seem useful in this situation.
Basic
So
powers.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Okay.
I want this one. I don't need to look at
Training
this.
montage.
You should have had this one. Dazzle.
Dazzler.
And I would like to use my arcane scholar.
razzle
Oh, great.
ability
All right.
To,
Why don't you go ahead and read that?
to
Because,
okay, so once per issue, is that a game session?
yeah.
At any time, you can gain one piece of information you seek about a supernatural or occult topic as though you participated in an interlude scene to seek out that information.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
it might have something to do with the piece
Yeah.
of parchment that she
Yeah.
found, and I looked at this. Oh my, not.
Yeah, so you know exactly what this is, actually. You've seen this before. It is essentially a transcribed teleportation spell. And basically, when it's written, it is imbued with the power needed to cast the spell, and then it can be read and expended, sort of like a spell scroll in D&D, to teleport the owner to a specific location. And
The owner or the person
the
who
person
reads
reads it. Sorry, I should say. My bad.
Okay.
The person reads it to a specific location, and with your knowledge and the possession of this scroll, you can actually identify like where this would take you. I mean, you have to like basically go back to your occult library and do some cross-referencing and yada yada. But
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I have to go back to the lounge.
Yes, exactly.
Lounge.
Just so
Well,
you
to
all
the-
know, I
to the
chose to
theater.
keep telepathy.
Good.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Conference
I was
call.
real worried. Real worried.
Okay, so we
We don't have
know
the
where
technology
the
to have
lair
head
is
pieces.
of the. Is that basically what I'm hearing?
You know where this would have teleported him to. Yes.
Yeah. So we have this
Okay,
scene in
yes.
which I've handed you this thing and I'm just sort of watching you figure this out.
And you see a big range of emotions cross my face: fear, opportunity, all still dampened by the sadness of. I'm still a little bitter about the bus thing, but
There, you saved the people. It's great.
Yeah, they're alive.
yes, that's true. Thank you, Punchella. Thank you.
All right. So
yeah.
you know exactly
So I explained
where it
that
goes
to.
to.
I
Yep.
explained that to the
Yep.
Fabulous Four.
And but you can basically look at a map, and you see that the runes, their orientation corresponds to a sort of formerly would have been used for like it's a marina, would have formerly been used for a lot of fishing, but it's fallen on a hard time, so not a whole lot of people go there anymore. But it's like a marina right on the coast where a lot of fishing vessels would normally be.
Dr. Tree looks at Punchella. You know, Mr. Grave Boneface. I don't actually remember what you were all calling him, but
Robbie McBoneface.
Robbie McBoneface.
Not Boner Face.
What?
Boneface.
You-
Heard you.
He didn't seem the sort that would do this sort of magic. So, do you think that's part of
no.
his MO?
No, not at all. Not at all.
He does
There's
seem
someone.
like the sort who would go for a long walk in a graveyard.
He just tried to murder her. Maybe we can get past the murder. I mean, to be fair.
Maybe with love,
Yeah.
he could become.
Although, you know, he is cursed.
like a
so it's not
challenging
really his
villain.
fault.
You could redeem him. He's a bad boy. You could
My
make good.
outside of work activities are none of your business. So, let us
You can do it as a job. it's fine.
continue. I already have a job.
Oh, that's okay.
I sensed there was something underneath some underlying power there. I don't know what, but just so we're all prepared. I don't think he's the big bad in this situation.
I agree.
So if we
Whether I
use
go
this,
on a date with him or not.
But he could still be the big bad of your heart.
So if we use this scroll, we might end up fighting the guy we just fought, plus its master.
A reasonable deduction. We could also go there on foot. Does the scroll still work?
No, it's expended.
So we'd have to go there on
Oh, we could take the float.
transportation. Is that an all-terrain vehicle? Get us all the way
if you
there.
swap out the unicorns for Pegasi, then yes.
Ooh.
Fair enough.
Where heads at.
Like
We're not losing Dancer and Prancer.
you travel by stepping into
Yeah, I
the
travel by
Nell,
tree.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You could take them with you
Here, bring this phone.
Can we bring
Take
the
the
float?
tree way.
if you feel necessary.
Take the tree way.
Woof, that's not good. So many puns.
Keep my points. Don't take my points.
I will be punished for the points.
Minus 50 DKP. Sorry. Yeah.
Why?
Can we take the float through the tree?
I don't.
Is that really necessary?
I'm going to say no. Whether or not I know that is the correct answer, I'm just going to say no.
How about the
call.
fabometer? Can we take the fabometer?
What's the fabometer?
Is that your bed?
That's a bed.
the bed?
And the
We
elves.
We can take the elves if the elves can carry the bed. You can only take what you can
There's
carry.
like 30 elves that lift up this little bed, and it's on like 60 little elf feet. It just
Like
crawls
a
into
bed
a tree.
centipede.
The bedipede.
Gross.
Well,
sort of lifts up.
I think that's enough for tonight. Yeah. Okay. So what next? What do you guys do next?
Shall we go there?
I think we should follow the one lead we have.
Do we
Okay.
have anything else to do?
All right. So you're heading to the marina.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't heal
Yeah.
any resistance or anything, right?
You do actually. You go back up to full.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good.
I didn't get
Th-
hit, so I'm not
thank
really
you for
sure what all of
asking.
your
I was in a bad place.
problems are over there. So yeah, the Dr. Juniper, she goes over, or Dr. Tree goes over to the large juniper tree, sure, that is in our base that's growing like through the walls, and knocks on it, and waits for a moment, and then it opens. Like just like a doorway, kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas style. It just
Yeah.
it goes, and inside it's swirling and disturbing.
Yeah. Nice. Would you say it's surreal?
It is a little
Okay,
surreal.
very well.
And she kind of looks
Yes.
back at everyone and she says, "It's a little strange in there. Let's go."
Very nice. All right. And so you emerge
We
out
all
the other
come out, but
side.
our limbs are in different places.
So you
We're Octodad. We're all switched to control different arms now.
No one suspects a thing.
We've got a good thing going.
So yeah, you step out the other side of the Nell, and you immediately smell the salty air on the ocean, and can tell that you are at the little-used now marina. And you're stepping out, and it's pretty quiet around here. Just the sounds of the water lapping up against the dock, a few seagulls overhead. Not a lot of human sounds here, though. Actually, it looks like it's pretty quiet. The one thing you do see is a boat, and this boat is speeding away from the marina at speed, and you can see that it's actually headed out towards the ocean, and it looks like it's making a beeline for a platform, like a sort of oil platform. That it's a ways off the coast, but it looks like it's heading like beelining right in that direction.
An oil derrick? Just want to clarify.
No, it's not that at all.
All right,
Well,
good. I was
aren't
worried
any-
for a minute.
It's a platform.
I've never
Trees out
seen an
there.
oil derrick before.
Yeah, so this boat speeding away across the water, and because we're running on time here, I'm just gonna hasten ahead to, hey, this is the final conflict scene, by the way, and so
Wait. I wanted to become a boat.
you can become a boat.
Yes. Okay, we're riding.
Is that how we're gonna get to it?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we
yes.
all sort of look at the water.
And the
Juniper's
fabometer's in the boat.
yeah.
Yes. Oh, great.
Booty
Good.
McBoatface.
Gonna Incredibles this.
Okay, so because he's sluggish, he's not going to notice you.
And can I
quickly.
astral project before we're in the initiative circle?
Sure.
So that I can
Yeah.
do something else?
Is it
as my
normally
first
your action to do that, or
Yeah, I think it's my
okay,
normal
yeah,
thing.
Okay, great. I think that's fine.
Because
like,
I'm kind of
We
a
put
coward.
the bed in the
Yeah,
boat.
right.
We put you on
we're
the bed.
we're
Yeah.
fast forwarding a
Boat's
little
going
bit
away.
here, so yeah.
Okay, great.
Go ahead and
Smash cut.
we'll say that you're already in your astral form.
Tiny little elf
I-
arms come out
I
from
could be
underneath his
flying
pillow
up
and put a hat
above,
on him.
scouting,
Sure,
looking
yeah.
for things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Okay.
What kind of boat do you turn into?
Uh,
Tugboat?
Speedboat.
Speedboat?
Punchella.
Sailboat. You're gonna air
Punchella.
manipulation us.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Aircraft carrier.
No.
What? No.
So big.
Tall ship.
Okay,
Very,
great.
very big tall ship.
Big tall ship.
Majestic.
All right. So majestic.
Okay, there is a slight flaw in this plan with putting the bed on the boat, because the boat's gonna stop being a boat at some
Well,
point.
then you gotta put the bed up on
That's
the
a problem
oil
for the
rig.
elves trapped under the bed.
Yeah.
We put little floaties.
So I'm
on all
introducing
the
a new
elves.
Just don't
complication
tell
as
Fabio.
the
Just
bed
don't tell
full of
Fabio at that
elves.
point.
Bed full of elves sinking to their doom.
Rodney,
Yes.
rules clarification.
Yes.
Were she to become an aircraft carrier, could he use his air manipulation on it?
No, unfortunately.
What?
No. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyways, you turn into the tall ship,
Yep.
the HMS Punchella.
Yes.
And so basically this, it's like a fishing trawler is speeding across the water headed towards the oil rigs, and the HMS Punchella is like cresting through the waves as you are in pursuit.
It's just you sleeping in the bed, snoring, exhaling into the
But fortunately, the wind that is being generated by your fearless leader is causing you to catch up. And soon you close with the boat, and it's getting to the point where like you can actually start making out the details on the oil rig by this point. So you know you're well over halfway there by the time you get in what we will consider to be conflict range, and that's actually going to bring up Fabio first.
So we're on boats
Oh.
still, and I'm still a boat.
You're still a boat, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh. I
One might
haven't.
even say that we're on a boat.
Okay, so
ever forget.
well, can you describe what do I see? up
Sure.
here?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So what you see is basically there's a fishing trawler. So open water oil rig in the distance, right?
Right,
Rolling waves. There's a sort of fishing trawler, and like it's not a super fast boat, but it gets up to decent speeds, right? And it's sort of pushing its way through the waves. You can see in the pilot's cabin of the trawler, you can see the hulking form of Grave Robber is there. You're in your astral form too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
You probably have like sort of vaguely psychic vision as well, right? You can tell.
Yes,
that
I think I do.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell that there are probably two hostages that are like tied up on the ship, right? And they look like they are like you can sort of sense their presence. You can tell that there's two of them, but not too much else about it.
And is the Fabio Con active, Dr. Tree?
Yes.
The Fabio Con.
Yeah,
Hey, everybody report in. It's Moon Moon.
that's right.
Hey, Moon.
Yeah, so
Fabio,
it's
of course.
probably like the trawler is probably 50 yards ahead of you, right?
And I'm totally back in a good mood.
Yeah.
Totally back in a good mood.
Yeah.
We spend the next 3 pages letting all 60 elves chime in.
Yeah.
Elf
It
1
is-
is here. Elf 2 is here.
Orange elf reporting for duty.
Keep it rolling.
Elfie McElferson.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you can see you're on the tall ship that she has transformed into, closing with it pretty quickly. But otherwise, it's a pretty gray, overcast day. Not much else to describe.
Do I see any hostiles other than Gravy
Nope.
Robert?
No, nothing other than Grave Robber. No.
Gravy.
Gravy Robert? Yeah. Okay.
He
So
hates Thanksgiving.
No, he loves it. That's why he keeps stealing it.
It's like the Grinch, but for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
okay, I am going to go and use my area attack
Okay.
to try and turn over the ship.
Trying to hit him and the boat, basically.
No, I just trying the boat.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I can get him at the
Aren't
same
the
time.
Sure, yeah,
hostages on the
totally.
boat?
Oh, it's not a good idea, but
Get to it. You'll get to it.
it's it
mean,
wasn't
what are
it
the
wasn't
odds?
that hard.
What are
It
the
wasn't
odds?
hard to rescue the other ones that fell in the water.
Oh yeah, you feel really confident now.
Yeah, we can rescue these.
Yeah. So.
we have to destroy the monster and the boat. We can't get to the oil rig. Okay, so
All right. So if you, so what I'll say is that you're going to make 2 attacks here, right?
Okay.
You'll make 1 attack against Grave Robber and 1 attack against the boat.
okay.
And if you want to use
Oh,
the
yeah,
area attack,
sure.
thing,
If I can do both at once.
Yeah,
then-
totally. Yep, that's fine.
Okay, great.
So go ahead and make your attack against Grave Robber first.
Okay.
And you're basically creating like a huge like
this
Fist of Wind,
I'm
or-
using this power stunt. Make
Yeah.
this use an area attack.
Sure.
Roll attack.
Yeah,
And so it's just like a and it's a broadside gale. You know, the ship
Yep,
is
yep,
all
yep.
set up to go this way. It's a broadside gale.
Yep.
Maybe it'll pick up wind often affects the waves.
Yep,
Right. So
absolutely, yeah.
the whole 9 yards.
Okay, great. Yeah. So basically,
And-
just like a sudden
and
crashing
you know,
gust.
My hair is going.
Right.
Yeah,
It's majestic.
yes, it's majestic. Yes. Okay.
Right.
So
And make
here
your roll for
it
your attack.
goes, and 41.
Great. That is a hit.
My favorite part is that your astral form doesn't have actual wind. Like, I feel like it's you creating
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
It's all part of it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
also make your roll a separate roll for attacking the boat.
Okay. Attacking the boat.
Yeah.
33.
13. Okay, great. Okay, so you hurl this gust of wind up against the side of the boat, and it basically tips the whole thing almost all the way over to the point where water is like lapping over the side. It doesn't like completely like flip the ship over, but it gets to the point where like it is clearly off balance. As more waves strike it, it looks like it's threatening to push it further and further over. Grave Robber is barely hanging on inside the pilot's cabin, and is just sort of like clinging to the side, bracing himself. It looks like when the wind hit the cabin, it like slammed him up against the wall, because you can see like there's a dent in one wall that where his body like slammed into it.
Perfect.
All right, Punchella, you're a boat.
I mean, ramming speed, right?
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yes.
All
Okay.
right.
I think it'd be more effective if the prow, which is front of the boat, technical term,
Yes,
was shaped like a
yes.
big spear or like a shark face.
Shark face.
Shark
a
face?
shark face with a spear pointy nose.
So like a narwhal shark. A shark wall.
Hammerhead.
Okay.
Hammerhead
Or-
shark.
Or just enough.
Shark wall.
Just
I
enough.
mean, hammerhead shark does make a lot of sense.
Ooh.
Thank you, Dr. Tree.
That was
Vote of
Lauren.
confidence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Tree's like, I went to one biology class. Hammerhead shark.
So yeah, I want to use my
The
kinetic
densest of all
energy
sharks.
manipulation to go faster.
Okay, are you
Go
trying
fast.
to hit him or the boat?
Him?
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I guess both. Like I want to. Maybe I'll try and spear him with a
Sure,
narwhal
yeah.
Like,
spear.
do hit like
That's what I was sort of
you might
imagining.
pass
Yeah.
through the boat, but go for
Yeah.
him.
Because like
Yeah.
the
Our
boat,
boat's smaller,
the,
we skip
the boat
up.
has tilted over enough
Yeah.
that like the cabin is actually hanging off over the side.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Nice.
I just
Okay.
imagine like the boat like
I'll
flips up and
purple
then she just uses the rudder to smack him 5 times before it falls back in.
All right.
7.
Oh, 7. No, 7. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Seven-
also roll an advantage die because this is technically a melee attack.
There. Yeah, and I want to
Melee
use
boats.
my ability
Oh,
to increase by 20.
also, didn't we start a new conflict scene so we
Yeah.
all get hero points?
Yeah, you
Yep.
get all your hero points back.
Oh, I already did.
We get back or we get 5 more?
No, you get them back.
Okay.
You
go up to
replenish
5.
to
I was
5.
all excited.
Yeah.
And I want to do 20 extra
conflict.
damage.
Okay, so we'll call it 30. So we'll say 37 damage.
Yeah.
Started.
All right,
conflict,
so
generate
the
5 more.
prow of the ship slams into the pilot cabin and spears Grave Robber and actually shoves him out the front window of the ship. But he manages to like cling onto it just barely, so he's like hanging off the side of the front of the ship.
Impaled to my narwhal horn. You're
All right.
welcome.
And now it is Moon.
Good job,
Hey.
Punchella.
So, Moon
that
Moon
name,
is
by the
going to run to the front of our hammerhead ship and summon. Can I like jump on the other ship and then summon a duplicate?
Yeah.
Great, I'm going to do that.
Okay. You do that.
All right, so as my action, I high
Color is
five.
this one?
Let's go with, we're on the ocean, so we're going with blue.
All right,
Okay.
nice. I like it. I like it.
All right, so now there are two
Yep.
of you on the other ship.
Moon.
Okay.
Moon.
Is there a noom as well?
Noom,
Is there like
It's the evil version of
evil
Moon Moon,
version
yeah.
of you as Noom?
Doppelgangers.
All right,
yeah,
Dr. Tree.
they sing songs
Yeah.
on YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
Dr. Tree, you're up.
Dr. Tree
Has some more useful abilities.
has, well, I do, but it's not super useful in this one. And you know what? Telepathy is good. It's been good to her. I also feel like he's going to go 4 times in a row, so let's maybe not have that happen.
Yeah.
And she's been hearing everything that Moon has been saying to her and really suggesting that she consider branching out, turning over a new leaf, perhaps, and, really just maybe even putting down some roots.
Would you say I planted the seed?
I would say that, yes. And so telepathically, I'm going to use this as an attack, as a hindering attack, but what she telepathically sends is, do you want to go on a date?
Emotional victory!
Go ahead and give me a roll.
Because it'll either stun him or...
I'm gonna give you 2 challenge dice on this. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Like, that's-
totally...
Can I
fair.
give her a bonus? Teamwork?
Totally. Yeah.
So,
Tell me how you help her. And
I will add the soundtrack. I will sing a love song.
Are you a good singer?
Of course, I'm a good singer.
I feel like it's
Sounds
Enya
good.
that he sings.
yeah.
All right. So you spend a hero point, and you get to add 2 advantage dice to your
2
roll.
advantage
Can
dice,
I
nice.
can I also help?
If you can find a way to describe
I
it.
have been encouraging this from the very beginning.
Realistically, this is Moon's fault.
All right. So he's singing.
Yep.
You're telepathically sending a request for a date.
Yep, and I hear it.
And you're.
And I'm like, go for it, Bobby! You can do it!
Sure. All right.
So I had another
Bobby's
2.
Bobby
Yeah.
now.
All right.
Crit. It's
Big
a
money,
crit.
no whammies.
Spotlight.
So I get an 88, which is not enough for it to be successful. But I can spend.
You got a lot of bad stuff.
I'd have to spend 2. I do
wait.
counter. Literally nothing. Literally nothing.
Hold on. Well, we might be able to fix that.
Yeah. Reroll.
I want this to happen.
Reroll.
So you can re-roll up to 2 of those. Re-roll just the 2 good
Okay.
ones.
Yeah.
Reroll these 2.
Yes.
I get 1. I get 1 boon. I could spend 2 hero points to knock it down to be a success.
Yes.
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 Do it.
You could.
But then I have to roll more challenge dice.
Let
That's fine, that's
love
fine.
bloom.
Challenge dice. It's challenge dice are
Look,
okay.
Let love
It's
blossom.
gonna be.
I feel like Derek will be
Yeah,
so
he'll
sad
be
if
mad
I
if you don't. Yep.
So,
This is gonna be the
all
Titanic.
right, so
It's
I have to
love,
roll
It's fine.
2
2
challenge
challenge dice.
Yeah. And love is complicated.
Oh.
We end up
Why don't you re-roll those
roll the challenge dice.
again? Yep.
It's so
You
bad.
can
Wait,
you
wait.
can re-roll up to 2 dice.
Okay.
If
Come on.
We
Okay,
net out.
okay, hold on.
okay. Wait, does that count as a 3 crit though? Do you get the crit?
No.
That's their counter.
Re-roll 2 good dice.
Reroll 2.
Yep, I am burning as many hero points as I
Okay.
need to.
Well, I
for
only
this.
have 1 that I can reroll.
Well, roll,
Oh, and then I could
yeah, roll a challenge die.
reroll a
Yeah,
challenge
yeah.
die, so I can mix
Right,
and match.
Sure,
Right,
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
No.
You want to spend any more
I
of your
do.
points
To
there?
be
Derek?
clear, I
Yeah.
did succeed. I just don't.
You have.
I literally get no boons and no negatives.
Wait, you got 1.
No, it
No,
all
no,
ends up
it
canceling
all
out.
ended up netting out.
Okay. That's fine. That's
But
fine.
I do succeed.
You do.
I feel like I've been wildly
What- wait,
irresponsible
which-
enough.
What is success?
I'd like to point out, how many hero points did you just spend?
4.
Okay. For effectively push.
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
Welcome to my
So
life.
for countering
one
a lot of
success,
negatives.
I do flip over his villain token.
You do?
I do.
That's right.
So
Yep.
he doesn't get to go
Right.
that one
'Cause
time.
you made it a hindering
because
attack.
I made it a hindering attack. That was-
What
that was
is
the whole
his
thing.
answer?
And
Do we
yeah,
ever
what's-
get to know?
Next
So
for the next issue.
you telepathically propose going on a date with him, and I'm going to assume that you're lacing this with like some like.
Poison?
willpower.
Mental poison?
Yeah, willpower. Thank you. That's what I was trying to
it's
say.
like
Yeah.
you need to seriously consider
Yeah.
this. If you ghost my telepathic message, I will rape unholy vengeance.
Yeah. So he's sort of like.
But you do like the undead ghosting them?
No, I like the decaying flesh.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's good.
So if
food.
he zombied the message.
Yeah,
He's
zombie's fine.
confused.
That's very reasonable.
He's sort of thinking to himself, and you can detect this with your telepathy, that he's like, this seems like a wildly inappropriate time for this proposal.
Well, I didn't exactly have another opportunity. You disappeared in
It is true.
to a portal last
Yes.
time. So do with this what you will.
He's very confused about his feelings.
He is very confused about his feelings, seeing how he hasn't had any for a while. But yes.
This is just thing. Does Moon write fanfic?
Has Moon been writing
absolutely.
fanfic of this?
In fact, like she basically summons additional moons
Yep,
to
yep.
wrait more fanfic, right?
They summon and they
Right.
show up and write fanfic about
Yeah.
our universe.
So good.
I want to live in this world. I love it.
Okay, so anyways,
It's his turn
so
now.
the bad guy, so Grave Robber, he basically claws his way onto the tilted pilot cabin of the trawler, and he's sort of standing on top of it now. His long metal head, hair blowing in the wind, a dark contrast to the angelic Fabio who floats above him.
yes.
And you see that he basically is, like looking around, realizes that you're a giant boat, realizes how far away the oil rig is, and you see that he reaches and snatches this amulet out from around his neck and crushes it in his hand. And when he does, what happens is so it's sort of cloudy out over the water here. The clouds darken above the oil rig and start to swirl above the oil rig, and you can see that they're basically like creating like a funnel cloud coming down over the rig itself. And as the funnel cloud comes down over the rig, these they're sort of bat-like creatures begin to fly out of it and begin making their way across the water towards you. So that was that first turn.
Oh dear.
Female deer.
Are you on his boat?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm all like,
Yeah. I mean, like, his boat is at like a 45-degree angle, so you're probably not that cavalier, right? He jumps down and is going to slam down between you and your duplicate.
oh no.
And basically,
Wait.
like, he's like jumping down onto the deck between the two of you.
If he's a metalhead, did they just rush at us like bats out of hell?
Very nice.
Yeah, see, now you're getting into it.
Now that one I'm going to allow.
Oh, what?
Sorry, I do. It's true. Sorry, Derek.
Yeah, it is.
You're gonna need to give up your spot in the Tuesday game for Lauren, I'm afraid. Okay, so
You have to
so
run
he's
L5R now.
okay. I'm going to allow that too. So you are going to get attacked, and so is your duplicate.
Yep.
So the first attack is against Moon Moon.
Oh no.
It's a miss.
I dodged,
and the
dodge.
second attack against Moon Moon's duplicate, also a miss. All
I
right.
told you I
So
dodged,
he
dodge.
basically like slams down between the two of you, and you're kind of tossed to either sides of the deck, but he doesn't manage to hurt you. And then so that was his area attack. But having missed you with that slam, he's going to try and swat one of you away. Let's say he's going to try and swat you away, actually. So he swings a meaty fist in a backhand, and as he does so, you can sort of feel like his arm is cold as it comes towards you, and
He's cold as ice.
Also, I realized I messed up the joke earlier.
He's willing to
Should have been a
He's
bat
willing
out of
to
Nell.
sacrifice me.
that is
I'm
going to
fine
hit.
with
So
This
you're
is-
good.
Hold on. I would like to
This is secretly.
whirl my trench coat again and give him 2 disadvantage dice. on
Two
that.
challenge dice, okay?
Yeah, challenge dice.
All right, so you're going to take 47 damage.
Oh boy!
Yep. And he is going to knock you
We're gonna
away.
take 67.
You fly through the air back towards the HMS Pancella, where you're still standing on the deck, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
gosh.
So,
Why
so
would I go
Moon
on the
Moon
boat?
comes flying towards you and is going to possibly strike you. So each of you will take 34 damage.
Oh boy!
You collide with each other.
Well, okay.
All right.
I'm
and
starting
now,
to think he doesn't want to go on a date with me.
And now it is
This is why I'm forever
your
alone.
duplicate, Moon Moon.
No, he pushes away people who try to get close to him.
Well, then why would I want to get close to him? That seems like far too much work.
No, he's broken. You can fix him.
Also, keep in mind that your courtship is going to result in the death of a lot of people, and then you'll both have something to talk about.
I do.
Anyway, I'm gonna like Moon is saying this as like Moon is crumpled on top of you. And duplicate Moon is just gonna be like, oh well, and go try to help the two people who are tied up inside the boat.
How are you going to help them?
Go and untie them.
Okay, great.
And be like, you can swim, go.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a roll to see how efficient you are doing so.
43.
Great.
Out of
yeah.
50.
Okay, you start loosening their bonds. They're basically tied up with deck rope, and so you free one of them. You get a hero point for that. And now,
You can spend that on my next asking out roll.
now the bats begin to swarm in the air, and they're actually swarming around you because you're like hovering in the air. And you can see these aren't bats. They're actually tiny little imp-like demons with big bat wings.
I was gonna joke that they're tiny little man bats.
Yeah, they are tiny little man bats. That's actually completely
Swarm
correct.
of man bat.
Yes. And so these guys are, there's that, and they do that much damage.
Oh, no,
Okay.
it didn't go. Okay.
All right, so they swarm around you and are going to try and attack you. Now, in your astral form, can you be attacked?
No.
Great.
They don't know that. All right, so they like fly through you. But yeah.
I just
You make it look cool.
make it look like they're just missing.
But
me
now
all the
they
time.
realize that they cannot harm you with their claws and fangs. Their claws and fangs and
Yes.
bat-like demon wings.
So leathery.
Try it again.
Bats are cute.
Try it.
But these are not cute. They're
Yeah.
not bats.
Maybe they get little
Oh,
furs.
hey, it's me.
Hey, it's me.
Hey, it's me.
This looks pretty good for you guys.
We've gotten pretty good initiative
Hey, it's
draws.
me.
You really have.
Yeah.
It does mean that he goes at the same time a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
which has
kinda
been
rough.
sort of interesting.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Would you like to manipulate the initiative track there, Fabio?
I don't think it's going to be that useful.
Okay.
Also, just so you know, I should probably not be a boat for too much longer. I don't know what you want to do with that information, but
I was going to get off the
being
boat.
a boat makes it hard for me to punch things. So,
I don't know, it worked out pretty well for you last time.
I mean, it's
what
true.
happened?
but I'm stuck. I can't. I guess I could like back up.
This
and
is
ram
comic
again.
books. Like, what is like physics, logic, or position?
Right. Yeah. Who cares, right? All right, Dr. Tree, you're
No,
up first.
you could
So-
swing the mast.
There are bats.
There are
And
demons.
they're demons. And he hasn't responded yet, so.
He has not. He's considering your proposal.
Good. And
He's considering your proposal. Yes.
He should continue too. So I'm going to let him do that. But he also threw a small teenager at
He
me.
did. He did throw a teenager at you. Yes.
And I don't know if maybe he wasn't aiming for me. It's fine. I'm willing to.
Maybe he was just lashing
I
out.
Yeah,
think
consider that an
the
exercise.
crushed Moon laying on you has a piece of paper and it's like, will you go on date with her, YN?
He just slip a note into his pocket. However, I did a little bit of studying in the interlude. I spent some time researching. I swapped out, those illusions weren't doing me any good. And so I just reach into the cloud of demons and I'm going to drain their very life essence.
Ooh.
Okay.
Like a
Okay.
Gross.
All right.
Yeah.
I just rapidly decompose them.
Okay. Very nice. All right. So you're gonna make an attack
I
with your
am,
life drain.
With my life drain. I
Yes.
take one off of the token from here and put the two onto there.
I look at the man bats. I look at.
It's like the magic card.
Grave Robber. I look at you, and I'm like,
and I
are you the one who made Grave Robber the way he is?
I succeed. I get 20 flat.
Okay.
I regain 20 resistance, and then I could put an additional time token on there, but I'm only missing 30, so I'm
Okay.
gonna, I think.
Great.
Actually, I'll go ahead and put a third one on there.
Okay,
just
great.
so that I regain a total of 30.
Get all of it back. Okay. Great. All right. You see
Just like-
that several of the bat-like demons wither and fall towards the water. Before they even hit the water, they basically crumble into like dead, dried leaves,
I
dirt.
decompose them like
Yep.
a tree consuming
do
plant
it.
matter.
All right, and now Moon is up.
Are you sure you got a doctorate in botany?
Yes.
Okay.
Well done, Juniper.
Evil botany. I think this is secretly the. I I feel like maybe
Necrobotany.
Yeah, I feel like maybe Dr. Tree was either a villain or is on the path to becoming one.
You definitely created this guy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never met him before in my life.
Oh, it was me. Okay, yes. So I think Crumpled Moon will like roll off of you, grab the note, try to get to the other boat, and just be like, "Hey, here!" And I'm just going to try to distract him while holding in my remaining organs.
Do you have a skill that you would like to use for
Yes,
that?
distract someone.
Yeah, okay,
Like,
go ahead.
you should respond to her note.
Okay, give me this distract someone roll.
Well, I rolled a 100.
I really feel like you should re-roll that because you just.
He
All
did.
right.
I don't. Why do we give Derek dice?
I don't know. He's not doing great tonight. Yeah, so Moon,
It's been really nice knowing you, Moon.
you are trying to make your way back onto the other ship.
Here's a note.
Yeah, and like you're making the jump from the HMS Pancella to the other ship, and whiff, and you're just like, hey, and
Oh,
you're,
boy.
like grab onto the side of the trawler, but he doesn't even notice you.
Hey, do you want to help me up?
All right, Pancella.
I mean, I think the simplest solutions are the best. We discussed using the mast, so I think I'm just gonna take the mast and just slam it down.
Just gonna rotate your boat.
Okay, all right. You're gonna strike him with the mast.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. Go ahead
Yeah,
and
hit him with your mast.
Yeah.
make a roll. That's gonna be a melee attack.
This is very suggestive.
Using the transformation.
Yeah. Okay, and don't give yourself an advantage die because you're making a melee attack.
Oh, and I got the thing off.
74.
I want to comment last
I'm
long
gonna
enough
use my
for
point and roll a
because
thing.
then maybe I'll
Yeah.
accomplish something.
All right, and I got a skull. Okay, so these two cancel out,
Yep.
unfortunately. But I got a 64.
Can I do teamwork?
Sure. Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and describe how you?
Well, I got a bird's eye view. I'm watching a little to the left, a little bit.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And that
Okay.
gives you 2 advantage dice.
Okay. Yeah. So he
can add
is directing you from above.
Yes, directing you from above.
All right, I got 1.
All right.
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll call that 84 damage.
Yeah.
Math is hard.
Yeah.
There we go.
This
Okay.
is a big
and
math.
yeah.
Bam!
So yeah, basically between your direction and his confusion at his recent proposal, you are able to slam the mast down right on top of him, smashing him down into the ground, and you can into the deck. And you can see that actually tied around his belt is a small pouch about that big.
Okay. Get the
Probably a
pouch.
head. It's probably a severed head.
Get it.
All right.
Why would he have a severed head on
The
him?
demons.
Look at him.
The demons.
He's called Grave Robber.
The demons turn and will. The demons turn and will swarm around you.
Yeah, that's
actually.
fair. I did just drain
Yeah.
life out of them.
So they're going to hit you for 34 damage
For our friends.
as they claw and bite and tear at
Really?
you.
I literally just took 34.
Well, you can keep trading, although he's not really they're not really getting it back. All right,
If
now
it was
it's duplicate moon.
33 and you took it 3 of those, you'd still be alive.
Duplicate moon.
Oh yes, Duplicate Moon is gonna be like, and try to untie
There's still another hostage
yeah,
there. Yeah.
and she's gonna try to untie the other one.
Okay, great.
You can swim. Yeah, 48 out of 50.
All right, so the 2 hostages are now freed.
I feel like we need to fire real Moon and just hire Duplicate Moon.
Yeah, and the 2 of them, you can see they're 2 fishermen who obviously probably own this boat, and they make their way across the precariously tilted deck and will like grab life jackets from the storage locker, and they jump off the side.
I'm
into
gonna
the
throw
water.
them like a lifesaver anyway.
Right, the candy, right?
Question.
Do I get a hero point?
Yes, you do get hero points.
Way
Do
to
we
go,
know
Moon.
for sure
He's always so innovative.
which Moon stays behind?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay, yeah, so cool. I look forward to
Moon does
losing
not even know.
Moon and getting Moon.
Okay, so he is on top of the pilot cabin, and he actually will basically grab on and lean back, and he basically looks like he's trying to throw his weight into righting the boat. And when he does, like, his muscles like ripple and get bigger, and then like other sort of necrotic hands reach out from his arm and like grab on, so that like by the time he's done changing, like he's grabbing the top of it with like 8 arms and like leans back, and the ship or the trawler rights itself.
Are they tiny little baby arms?
They are tiny little necrotic baby arms, and that puts the propeller back in the water, and the
His arms
boat
are T-Rexes.
begins to speed towards the platform once more.
Gives a whole new meaning
All right,
to T-Rex.
Fabio,
arms.
you're up.
Okay, so well, there is another effect on the. I can't use the first the area attack, right? Because I already used it and I haven't cleared all the time.
Yeah,
markers.
once the time tokens come off.
Do the time tokens are this for the whole card? Or
Yeah, for the whole
that?
card, yep.
They're for the whole card.
Yep.
So I can't do anything with that.
Right.
And I'm already astral projecting. I'm already being a leader, of course.
You're leading
and
so
doing
well.
pretty marvelous job at it. Yeah, doing.
Could you
just,
lead me to
just
better
fine.
dice rolls?
Well,
You also have your skills on your actor.
yeah, I
ability
could
as well.
try to create a disguise.
You can also anything
I
else.
could size someone up.
Yeah, there's also
No, you could figure out what his weakness. You could use size someone up
Yeah.
to figure out what his weakness is.
Yeah.
Chances are it's his eye socket.
That's true. He did
yeah, we haven't
very
been thinking
dramatically
about
point
that.
that out.
Right.
I was originally planning on life draining,
The eyeball.
Yeah, I will.
just in general.
Try and
but
size him
the
up.
bats came
Okay.
first.
I'm gonna size him up.
Go ahead and
Bats
give me a roll.
came back the very next day. Thought it was gone, but the bats came back.
100.
Wow.
I was not involved.
This
For the
man
record.
is impressive. He is a specimen.
I see no
yeah.
weakness.
Yeah, you do
And that
not
is why
see
I
any
would want to
weaknesses,
take him
yes.
out on a date.
See?
All right, having righted the trawler,
He's such a honk of rotting meat.
My favorite kind of meat.
having righted the trawler, he is basically going to.
Chad decided the plot twist was that his weakness was illusions all along.
You swapped out illusions. That's funny.
Well, give me another interlude. I'll get illusions back randomly at some point.
All right, he is going to basically. Let's see here. You're just rescuing hostages. You're a boat. You're.
I am a boat.
I think what he's
you
going
ever
to do
forget?
is he is going to try and rip a hunk of the. No, actually, I know what he does. He jumps down onto the deck and he pulls out the one of the like fishing harpoons that they have, that they use to stab at fish. I guess I don't know.
And he grips it with
How
tiny
does
little.
fishing work? I don't know.
Yes, they catch it one at a time.
Yeah. Well, they're spear fishermen.
Yeah.
This is one of those fishing boats that
Big
goes after the
fish.
big fish,
Yeah.
but not whales.
There's a harpoon. Okay, that's all that we need to know.
A harpoon poon?
Yeah, and he is actually going to take it and try and leap over onto your deck. And I think he realizes at this point that you are a sentient, transforming ship, and is going to try and drive the harpoon
don't
You
into,
better make the
Ow.
transformer
deck?
noise
Do
next
not
time.
want.
and yeah, so he is going to drive this harpoon into your deck. But it like, yeah, okay, whatever. Harpoon driving into wood, who cares? But like necrotic energy seeps down his hands,
necrotic
and the wood
energy.
of your deck starts to rot
Help.
where it stabs. 54 damage.
It's a lot harder to fight
Help.
someone on a boat when you're the boat.
Yeah.
I might have to not be a boat at some point.
No, it's
Everyone.
just, the mask goes up, and then you have
Well,
like
I've
the
been
little beam. You
waiting
just
for
have
Oh,
that
that's
swing
true.
around.
Yeah, the boom. Smack him with the boom.
He
Give him
yanks
the
the
boom.
spear out of the ground
a boom boom.
and basically tries to swat you across the face.
Yes, this is very rude.
You're
Okay,
gonna take-
all right.
You're going to take 39 damage.
I'm starting to think he doesn't want to go on a date
Probably
with
doesn't
me.
want to go on a date with you, no. And then the last one is going to be
That's hard.
I think he is going to like.
My still body is sleeping.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the bed.
yeah.
That's
Where is
The 30 elves scatter and the bed just falls.
where is regular Moon at this point?
Regular
Oh, you're
Moon is hanging on the edge of the side of his other boat.
All right. So he, having stabbed you and put the necrotic energy into you, he's going to leap back onto his boat.
Bad plan.
And as he does, he sort of lands right next to where you are clinging onto the side of the boat.
I still have the notes.
And he sort of is going to basically use his boot to
don't
try and
do that.
shove you down into the
Please
water.
don't do that. Do that.
It's going to be 48 damage.
I can't handle that.
oh my gosh.
Does that take you out?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like
All
I'm
right.
at this puts me at what 28 or 48, right?
Oh, good. We get to find out what this means.
Yeah. So
Well,
Yeah.
it means the Moon.
139,
Yeah.
129.
So it basically means that you are knocked out of the scene. So why don't you tell me what happens to your character that once he kicks you down into the water?
Does my summoning duplicate also disappear?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't die or anything.
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
you're
yeah.
out of the
No.
scene.
So I mean, like I think he just like kicks me into the water, and like I just sink to the bottom, and my duplicate's like, crap, and like jumps in the water to try to save me.
All right.
And then like we just kind of like sink into the darkness.
Right.
And we have no idea what happens this
Right,
episode.
very
or
well.
this issue.
Yes.
Sad.
I mean, like we would probably see at the end of the issue, like you and your duplicate
phone
like
washes
crawling
up
up
on the
onto the
shore.
shore. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
no, just the razor
Yeah,
goes
just
up
the
on the
razor.
shore. And like I don't come back for like 6 issues or something like that.
And
So
then
it-
when you do, you got an eye patch and a cool scar.
One eye's glowing and I got a cyber arm.
Yeah.
you're the booster, right?
Yep.
So it is 9 o'clock. I know you guys normally wrap at 9. Do we, want to?
we can finish up.
So we'll be dead soon.
Well,
so.
I mean, I'm at 73, so
Oh,
it's not looking so
Dang.
hot.
I'm at 46.
I suspect that depending on how this initiative goes, that one of two things is going to happen.
Yep.
So
I don't think we got that many
Well,
rounds left.
depending on how this initiative goes, we could just end it with like, how will they survive?
And then come back for another session sometime. Ah.
Okay.
I guess this is what happens actually.
Okay.
All right.
So unfortunate.
Would you like to manipulate the initiative track?
Oh, so now which boat is he on now?
He's back on his trawler.
He's back on his trawler. Oh, and do I want to initiate the?
You can.
I've only got 1 hero point left, so since 2 of us are already at the beginning, and I don't know, advancing 1 more is going to matter that much.
Okay.
Oh, it might.
But
Man,
you're up
it could-
first.
It could matter a lot. Okay, so you know the game. Is there something I'm missing about, like, if I can't use my attack?
So your
I mean,
your time tokens should have been coming up. So like.
oh, this is I got
Yeah,
1
and-
more.
and so
Next
that-
turn I'll be able to do it.
Right, but you're up now, so like
Right.
I don't think you took 1 off last turn off of your air manipulation.
Yeah. Well, there was 3 on there, so.
Okay.
And that was your first action, so.
All right. Okay. So I'll hit him with the air blast again.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. And really try to do is blow him off the boat
Yeah. Okay.
so that maybe he'll sink.
Sure. So you're hoping you're hoping more to shove him off the boat than you are to like damage him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, if I can somehow increase the chance of knocking him off the boat, if that's at the expense of damage, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Why don't you go ahead and give me a roll for your attack?
All right. 44.
Great. Yeah. So you shove him off the deck of the boat. Like he has just kicked poor Moon down in the water. You shove him off the boat, and he splashes down into the water. And you see like his head pops up, but then the boat was like speeding away from him.
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, Dr. Tree.
All right. Well, my telepathy comes back, and I am mad at him. I am hurt. I feel like I put myself out there and it was thrown back in my face. So I tell him that he is a terrible person, he will never be loved, and he should just drown himself in the ocean and his inevitable failures.
Yep. Okay. Very nice.
But I tell that to him telepathically with as much vitriol as can be summoned.
Okay, so since he was just shoved off and has been dunked in the water and sees his boat speeding away from him, I'm going to give you 2 advantage dice on this
Okay,
roll.
thank you. I will take them. I berate him with vicious scorn. So I reroll that one. 57, so I
pretty
succeed,
good.
and I get 1 advantage.
1 boon, huh? Okay, let's see here.
And I was doing it as a hindering attack, but if he wants to just, drown himself.
Sure,
that's
okay.
fine.
Yep. All right, so you will hinder him. And I think what happens actually is that because he's already sort of reeling, I'm going to say that instead of doing extra damage to the boon, that basically you're going to push him hit this down by
right,
1.
I like it.
So basically, like he's slow on the because he's already like he's sluggish as it is, right? So
Yeah, you're a terrible person. You'll never be loved.
No, my heart. My heart.
It brings a tear actually to Fabio's eyes. The thought of no love.
Fabio decides to love him.
No, no.
Just the wrong person that
Fabio's
asked him out for a date.
far too self-centered for that.
the minions are still swirling around you, though, Dr. Tree,
Yeah,
and
that's fair. I
slashing
did
at you.
ignore them.
But they are going to miss with their attack.
Oh, that's nice. Because I feel like they could have definitely taken me out.
He is desperately going to try and get back to his boat. Let's see if he does. All right, so he's like, no, and he reaches down into the water and then like reaches forward like this, and he surges up out of the water, and you can see that he's actually riding on the back of a rotting shark. That he has basically pulled this like shark carcass up.
What kind of shark? We have a hammerhead on our side.
Great white shark.
A great white
Yeah.
versus hammerhead.
That's the cooler shark.
Yeah, and he's surging towards
Shark
the back of
and
his boat,
cooler shark.
trying to reboard his boat. And you can see that like the shark carcass that he's riding is like disintegrating.
Yeah, is he
underneath
just
him, right?
undead
So it's not gonna-
Aquaman?
Yep.
Yeah, he is now.
He is
now.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay.
So, Punchella, it's your turn.
Yeah.
So he's not on the boat yet, right?
He's not on the boat yet, but he probably will be shortly.
Unleash.
So your last time token comes off.
Yeah.
Quit holding back. Angela.
You know what would be great and super dense is just become a super dense anchor and pull him right off a ship into the depths.
Oh, he's not on the ship though. He's on the shark.
No, wait, didn't he get on the ship?
No, he's
No,
trying
he's
to get
on
on
the
a
shark.
ship,
Yeah.
but he didn't.
whatever,
Surging up towards
do
it.
it anyway.
There, or I could become a kraken
Sure.
and punch tentacle punch.
Absolutely,
Tentacle
a super dense kraken.
Can I do that?
You really still also say, and she became super dense?
Yeah, but
Oh,
you
I
grab-
should also add
Okay.
the funnel cloud that came down out of the clouds has
Oh.
completely encircled the
Derek?
oil rig by
Yeah,
now.
no, that's definitely bad.
Sweet. Oh, but yeah,
you can see like lightning is crackling around it and everything.
Yeah, you are still all still on the boat though. At least
No,
you
nope,
are.
we're
I
definitely
am.
not all on the boat.
There, but you're dead.
You're not.
I'm the only one that's still on the boat, so
No,
it's
you're on
you
the
know.
boat.
I'm on you.
No,
Yeah.
well, you're
Oh yeah,
fine.
your body's on the
Your
boat.
bo-
That's
yeah.
right.
Your body's on the boat.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the 30
And
elves.
the
Don't
elves.
forget about the elves.
The bed will probably float.
I would also like to
The
point out,
fobometer.
since you now have kinetic energy manipulation back, you could make your attack with that.
Ram.
Basically, just try and
With the
overtake
boat.
his necro shark.
Yeah, do damage.
Yeah, ram the shark.
Quit
with the
holding
boat.
back, Punchella.
Yeah.
Get in.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I feel like one really good attack could take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. One really
Ram
good
him.
attack.
We're gonna do
And
that.
I will teamwork
yes.
you too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
But-
So tell me how you're helping her as the HMS Punchella rams
gurgle.
the shark.
I do what I do best. Give commands from
right.
above.
Okay.
Yes.
Ramming speed.
Yes. Go, Punchella. You've got it.
I probably use the telepathy to like provide guidance on like I'm just like
gives
homing
you,
beacon to him. I'm like beep,
Yeah,
beep, beep,
sure.
beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep, beep, beep,
Okay.
beep,
All right.
beep, beep, beep. Destroy him.
So you're gonna get 4 advantage dice on this roll.
Okay.
Right. All right. This could be it. This could be.
Ooh, okay. Oh,
Probably isn't, but
wow.
it could
Derek.
be. Yeah. 0
What?
boons. 0
I was not involved
okay.
in this.
Four dice. 0 boons.
74, but and increasing the damage by 20.
So 94.
And I do a my last hero token to do 20 more.
So 114.
114. Bam.
All right. So you strike the necro shark. It completely obliterates the shark, which means that he hits the water, and the boat speeds away from him. He, like, as he hits the water, you can see, like, he hits it at such a speed that he kind of skips along the water for a few seconds, tumbling ass over tea kettle as he does so. When he is, like, as he's tumbling, you see that the thing that was tied around his waist, the bag, like, snaps and flies away and splooshes down into the water over there. He hits the water and sinks under, and the trawler speeds towards the oil derrick. As this happens...
So it's an oil derrick.
Shut up. As this happens, basically, he sinks under the water. The demon bats, like, fly over to where he fell under, and they're, like, looking down in the water, and you see they're like... And they basically turn and race back towards the funnel cloud. When they hit the funnel cloud, they just evaporate into it, and then it slowly pulls back up into the clouds, and the overcast sky goes back to being gray as opposed to black, dark clouds. With that,
Can you grab the satchel thing with my air manipulation?
In the next panel, it just kind of like floats up, like it's one of the barrels that were attached to the jaws.
Right, exactly. So like, you know, after all things are said and done, you can go searching for it and everything.
And I hope we don't forget and leave the fishermen out there in the water by themselves.
They're fine. They had a life buoy.
Well, you can rescue them, right?
Yeah.
But that's
Bring them onto our boat.
I'm just hoping we remember to.
Right, yeah.
Dr. Tree is like, if they can't
I don't
swim,
know.
they didn't deserve to live.
I feel like Fabio's pretty conscientious overall.
Yeah.
Right?
He's very conscious of his image.
Yeah.
Oh,
Agreed.
yes. Okay, good. Thank
And
goodness.
so, yeah, you manage to defeat Grave Robber, who sinks beneath the waves, to escape to parts unknown, but you manage to retrieve the object he stole, which it turns out is a big honkin' diamond. But you, with your occult knowledge, know that it's not just any occult or any diamond. It is often used in the creation, like the kind that's used in the creation of portals between worlds. So, like they may be trying to. Someone may have been using him to get a component for a portal.
Can we have one panel that like shows the diamond, and then the next panel a different moon wearing a different color appears in every facet?
There you go. Excellent. But yeah, so that is the conclusion of Eldritch Mysteries number 2.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Rod.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Well done.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Delightful.
And a great system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and makes it pretty easy to jump in and play.
So if
Yes.
someone were to say want to jump in and play, how would they do that?
Yep. So you can get it right now, like I said, from scratchpadpublishing.com, which is my website, and basically it ships worldwide from there. You can also buy it from any store or convention that has product from Indie Press Revolution. So, and if you go to scratchpadpublishing.com, in the retailer section, there's all the information you need to find out, like, hey, does my store carry Indie Press Revolution stuff?
Excellent.
Well, thank you guys for playing.
Thank you.
Thank
for
you.
running.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Joining us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to everyone for watching, for joining us in chat. People seemed rather engaged, so that was good. Apparently, we were entertaining. See if we can squeeze in a few more puns next time.
First time for everything, I'm
Yep.
sure. But
So thank you for joining us, everybody. Now, don't forget that we have a whole lot of other shows on our channel. Monday nights, we normally have the Brothers Murph playing board games, but this week they're off. So in the future, you can join them at 6 p.m. Eastern to play a board game. And then on Wednesdays, the Brothers Murph are back painting minis, kind of teaching people how to paint their board game collection or war game minis and stuff like that. And then at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, Peter and Emma are there for Fireside. And this season, you're covering
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep, 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons. So if you
right.
want the stories from the people who were there, kind of in the trenches,
Yes, and this next week, our guest will be Chris Pramis from Green Ronin.
great. So then on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m., then we have the Westgate Irregulars coming in. They're a group of local authors playing D&D. And then on Friday at 11 a.m., we have Table Takes, where Emma, myself, Bonsai, and Christian kind of cover the news and bundles and Kickstarters that we found notable that week. And then at about 12:30, a local store will come in and bring the new releases that just came out, so you can go see what new games have come out and what you want to go buy in the store that weekend. And then you just watched at 6 p.m. Pacific game night, where we play different games and invite our friends to come join us and share something fun with us. So thank you again for watching. Thank you again for coming out and running it for us, Rodney. I hope that you can join us in the future for something else.
Yeah, totally.
And that is it. Thank you very much, everybody.